is always going to make sure he protects his. But his brother's an a-hole. His brother's an a-hole and ripped my hair out.
Now, was Graham on the team when this happened?
Yes.
So did you go to Graham and go, what's up with your twin, dude?
I should have, but I was so worked up, and I get in my head, I was so worked up that all I could think about is what I'm going to do to that man's knees. Because he's like 6'5", 6'6", like 300 pounds. I mean, what am I going to do? Yeah. The only thing I can do is like sucker punch him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Dover, before we let you go real quick, Vance Joseph, Darren Rizzi going to talk here soon. Yeah. Joe Lombardi will as well. Is this the one special teams coordinator press conference of the year you're interested in because of what happened against the Colts and special teams such a disaster, particularly in the last 5 minutes for the Broncos?
I actually hadn't even thought about it because it is a Thursday. I just think of VJ because I don't really even – this is going to be mean. I don't care about Lombardi, really, what he has to say either. It's more about what Sean and Bo are saying for me. I actually had not thought about it, but I will pay a little bit more attention because I want to know what Sean – was it yesterday what Sean was saying or Monday on the conference call of like it's on me for that alignment, but Monday. Is Sean really calling the plays? Like will Rizzi fall on the sword for his guy? That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah,
and
I
of course
know
he's gonna.
If it was Darren Rizzi who told the guys, hey, let's be overly aggressive on a 60-yard field goal block. You know what's funny is last year we paid attention to special teams press conference day one time, and it was after the Chiefs debacle.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Mike Westhoff retired for health reasons, and we wish him the best, but Ben Kotwika had to go up there and take some of those arrows. And then, of course, Sean dismissed Kotwika, but Phil, I know you're a Darren Rizzi guy. He's not exactly off to the best of starts here in his Broncos tenure.
Will, when have you ever heard about me talking about Rizzi?
Well, I came in and had some beef with Rizzi the other night, and you weren't real thrilled with it.
Now, I'm a reasonable man. Like, I'm going to see two sides of the story. Now, do I think that Rizzi is a really good special team coach? I do, and he's been in the league for a long time and has a resume for it. Do I think that he messed up in 2 weeks, week 1 against the Titans and week 2 against the Colts? Definitely. And that's something that, hey, if you mess up again, that you're going to be under a microscope. And now you're going to have Sean questioning you and Sean being upset because it's like, hey, if our offense is doing well, our defense is doing well, but the reason why we're losing games is special teams, that becomes a big-time issue because we can't be inconsistent in the special team unit because you're going to need them throughout this year. You're going to need Lutz to come up big at some point. You're going to need the kickoff team to stop a kick returner from gaining 60 yards.
Yeah, you're going to need the special teams unit to get a lot better, I think is what you're getting at, because through 2 weeks, it certainly hasn't been a strength for this Broncos team. And I think as you look at this Chargers game, that was another one last year that special teams played a big role in. The first free kick in almost 60 years in NFL history. Can we just get through a Broncos game where we don't think about special teams? Because honestly, it's one of those things, if you don't think about it, it means it's good. People always say that about refs. If you watch a full Nuggets game and you don't think about the refs one time, guess what? They did a good job. They called a fair game, an even Steven game. But if you're thinking, God, the Zebras are screwing us, then they're an issue. The same is true with special teams in the NFL. When they're out of sight, out of mind, that means things are going well. When they're at the forefront, like they have been particularly against the Colts, that's never a good sign. No Broncos fan wants to think all that much about special teams.
Well, I will say this. That first field goal that Will Lutz kicks, we're all going to be holding our breath. But once it goes through the upright, once it goes straight down the middle, I think we're all going to take, exhale and say, okay, we're back to the normal. Will Lutz is going to be just fine. He's consistent. He's a really good kicker. We believe in him because he is a really good kicker. He is very consistent, one of the most consistent kickers in the league. But he has to have confidence and believe in himself moving forward because I'm telling you, we're playing the Chargers. Will, it may end up being, hey, 3 points that you need to win this game. Will Lutz, go back out there, the game-winning kick, and we have to have confidence in him. I mean, they do. As Denver Broncos fans, we do as well. And for Will Lutz, he has to have confidence in himself to go out there and make a chip shot field goal if that's the case.
Yeah, but do you believe in the clutch gene in sports, Phil? Or because that's been a debate over years. Like, does the clutch gene exist? Are some guys more clutch? Like, I would argue Nikola Jokic is clutch. Yeah. Feels like every time you need a bucket in the final seconds, he's either going to score or have an incredible assist.
Most definitely will. I mean, come on now. There's different type of players. Some players are really good in practice. But when game time comes around, they're not as good as they were in practice. Some players are good in games, but they're not great. And then there's those players that when stuff hits the fan, when you need a big-time play in big-time moments, in crunch time moments and situations, they're ready for it. They want the ball. They want the coach to call their number. They want the quarterback to look their way. I used to be like that, where it's like, hey, when the pressure's at an all-time high, I want to be the man. I want to be Superman. I want to be the guy that people are talking about the next day, that, hey, he went out there and he handled business. The thing with that is, if you ask for the ball and you don't do what you're supposed to do, now they're looking at you like, hey, we can't trust you anymore. So there's a lot of pressure in that, but there's definitely moments for these players to have these clutch moments.
And unfortunately, I believe in the clutch gene too. I'm with you.
All right.
I'm not so sure Will Lutz has it. And we've got plenty of examples, Phil. You got the kick in Buffalo a couple years ago where the Bills bailed him out by having 20. I wish they had 12 guys on the field. You got the kick in Buffalo last year. People forget about it. It's a 10-7 game right before half, and Lutz doinks the upright. You would have been tied with the Bills in that playoff game 10-10 going into halftime.
I did forget about that one, Will.
You got the kick in Kansas City, and believe me, I blame Alex Forsythe for what happened.
Yeah.
But Will Lutz, he could just pop that thing up. It's a 35-yard field goal.
You just got done saying, hey, it's Alex Forsythe, but then Will Lutz could have popped it up a little higher. That wasn't his fault.
And then this past week, you got Will Lutz with another doink special. Listen, I think in the second quarter of a 3-3 game, Will Lutz is relaxed. He drills them all. That's why the percentage is so high. But I did just provide you 4 examples, and you can disagree with some or the others, where Will Lutz has not been great for these Broncos when the lights are the brightest in the tightest moments in the fourth quarter.
Well, I hope Will Lutz is listening to you right now.
All right, great. I hope I motivate
light
him.
some confidence up his ass, because we are going to need him. There's 16, 15 more games, and you mean to tell me there's not going to be a time where you need a field goal to win it? Will Lutz is going to have to come up big, and he will come up big because he also has a resume of having game-winning kicks on top of having some of the game-losing kicks.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Younghoe Koo's looking for a gig. He's a pretty darn good kicker.
There's a reason why he's looking for a gig. What's the reason?
He
struggled.
One bad miss against the Bucks in week
for
1.
Will Lutz, we're talking about this season. This season specifically, he's had one bad kick. Okay.
It was a pretty important bad kick. We could be talking about a 2-0 football team if he puts that through.
Yes, indeed, we could have. But you know what? It was one time. If it happens again, now we're talking.
All right, we are off and rolling. It's Will Peterson in for Zach By, who's on assignment. I think Phil's got a few details on that. We may pass those along as the show goes on. But coming up next, let's turn it over to Bo Nix. Is there any level of concern against a really talented Chargers defense? We'll dissect on the other side.
The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
There are a lot of issues. Think about it. All 3 levels of the defense struggled mightily. Up front, the linebackers, the secondary. Name me a Bronco defender that had a good game.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here on behalf of the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there about erectile dysfunction. Now, don't go squirming in your seat or changing the channel. Guys, ED is actually pretty common, and thankfully, it's a medical condition. And like most other medical conditions, it's treatable. And I'm talking about success rates with the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic that have success well over 90% of the time. They have served the Front Range of Colorado for nearly a decade, so they're not new. And they've successfully treated tens of thousands of men just like you. So I hate to break it to you, you're not that special. ED is actually pretty common. So schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. That initial visit is only $99. It includes a medical consult with a Colorado licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. It's real simple. If the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff and 5 locations in Colorado to serve you. So stop living with ED. Call them at 720-440-7900 or visit them online at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Select Health, how can we help?
Hi, my CEO needs a POV on the ROI of HDHPs by EOD.
Okay, so you're a small business. Let's start there.
How'd you know that?
Let's just say it's not my first RODEO. Get it? Rodeo.
Oh, right. Letters.
Let's get started.
Real people, real answers in real time. Select Health. Insurance made simple. Learn more at selecthealth.org.
Change is always happening. Hey, it's part of life, and when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. But no matter how things change in 5 years, there's one thing that'll stay the same: the price of your internet. Xfinity is introducing the 5-year price guarantee. It means you'll get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with their best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report August 2024.
It's next man up in Boulder as Coach Prime and the new look Buffs return to action at Folsom Field. Tickets are on sale now, so get loud and cheer on CU as the Buffs battle for a Big 12 title. Tickets are still available for the Buffaloes' home matchups against BYU, Iowa State, Arizona State, and more. Lock in your seats by visiting CUBuffs.com/tickets or by calling 303-492-8282. Join the action of another exciting season at Folsom Field with your Colorado Buffaloes.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan brought to you by Flanagan Law.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer. Exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney. Tuesday afternoons on The Drive. And Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth. All season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
We are off and rolling on this Thursday afternoon. Will Peterson in for Zach By, hanging out with my guy Phillip Lindsay. All right, the people want to know. The text line's already lighting up. What's Zach doing, Phil? What's he doing?
Oh, look. Zach cares about the kids. He cares about making sure they're okay, making sure their golf swing is okay. You know, so there you go right there. Zach By is teaching young kids how to golf, which is interesting because I don't know if Zach By really knows how to golf. Make that make sense. I mean, Drew said, you know, I asked Drew just a second ago because the #1 golfer in here, me, I'm out of commission. I mean, my finger, I can't do anything. So, but obviously, talking to Drew said that Zach is getting better at golf.
Right. Wait, hold on. Don't you have to have like a score below 120 to be even considered like a bad golfer?
Drew, nobody knows that.
They do now.
Nobody knows that, Drew.
I don't know if mom and dad realized they signed little Johnny up for lessons with Zach By. You know, like sign him up for lessons with Brandon Stokely if you want to learn how to play golf. But maybe not Zach. We'll have to get the report tomorrow how it went.
Zach is the par prince. He finds a way to have a par. So
just one?
And I mean, last year he had a couple. But from what I'm hearing from him, it's like once every blue moon.
And let's clarify, when he says a couple, it's like in the year, not in the same round.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not in the same round. It's like he sprinkled in like 5 pars over the course of a season.
Yeah, the average golfer listening to this show right now is not impressed with that. Most golfers who even shoot in the mid-80s are getting 5-6 pars a round, and the score's getting inflated by a couple doubles or triples.
I think before we really start this show, I think what it is Zach's scared of trivia today.
Ooh.
You know, like Zach's scared of trivia, but as long as we have Drew, you're really good.
Oh, thank you.
Me, A-Team, we're good.
The morning show did go 4.
Dante, I'm missing. I'm sorry, D. You're a big part of this. Although we were going to trade your ass at one point.
Well, Ty is a shark. The morning show did go 4-0 today, Phil. So the pressure is officially on us to match them. Clean sweep on the day. They got San Antonio. Mark Schlereth did. They got the 5 teams Michael Malone had been bounced by. They knew their college football. They were just on one. So we'll have pressure coming up at about 4 o'clock. Let's talk about maybe level of concern or trust in Bo Nix this week against a really talented Chargers defense. I mean, we were fortunate that the Chargers and Raiders kicked off at 8 our time. I saw a lot of people on the East Coast complaining, like, you kidding me? A football game at 10 o'clock? I got to stay up to 1 in the morning to watch Geno Smith throw 3 picks and fewer than 200 yards.
Crazy.
But that Chargers defense was dominant. I know you watched that game on Monday night. You certainly watched the game against the Chiefs down in Brazil. Twofold question here. Level of concern for Bo Nix, and also how elite is this Chargers defense that the Broncos are going to face on Sunday?
Well, let's start with Bo, Will. I'm not concerned with Bo Nix because he's our franchise quarterback. And if you believe that he's a franchise quarterback, it doesn't matter who you're playing. Yes, there are going to be tougher opponents. Yes, you are going to have to go through trials and tribulations. You're going to go through times where you throw interceptions. But what does it look like the next week? All right, the first week with Bo Nix threw 2 interceptions and had a forced fumble, right? He let one hit the ground. Week 2 against the Colts, he had 1 interception and a crucial moment, but he has cleaned it up. Now, this week against the Chargers, that can't happen. You cannot have these turnovers against a dominant defense and an offense when you're talking about the Chargers that are able to put up points. Bo knows that. So when Bo goes into this game, he has to have a clear mind of, hey, be smart with the football. If something is not there, do not force it. I don't have to force it to Courtland Sutton. If it's not there, just dump it down to a running back. If the running back's not open or your tight end's not open, then use your God-given gift, which is your running ability. He is fast. He's explosive. That's going to keep a defense honest as well, so that a defensive linebacker or a safety has to move up in the box and respect the Bo Nix legs in the run game. So for Bo, it's about being smart with the football and understanding what you're seeing out there. They're going to disguise defenses. They're going to play zone on you because Bo Nix has not done well in zone coverage with some pressure put on him. And that's exactly what he should think. It's like, hey, they're going to run zone. They're going to put pressure on me. And so where are my outlets? Where are my dump downs? Where's Evan Ingram if Evan Ingram plays this game? So for Bo Nix, I believe he's a franchise quarterback. I think you do, hopefully.
I do.
Then you go out there and you handle business against the Chargers, even though it's a tough defense.
Yeah, I'm all in on Bo Nix for sure. I think he's definitely the best-looking Broncos quarterback since Peyton Manning wore the orange and blue. I don't think there's a lot of debate about that. Russell Wilson didn't work out. We don't have to go through the list of everyone else. But you mentioned the 3 turnovers against the Titans. Phil, I'll even increase that to 5. They went 0 for 2 on 4th down that day. The QB snake they ran around midfield, kind of pathetic looking, didn't work, turned the ball over, and then, of course,
should have done the tush push.
The disaster on 4th and 8 with the lob ball to Marvin Mims at the end of the game. So they really kind of had 5 turnovers. Yeah, the last one I'll probably put more on Sean. Even the QB sneak I'll probably put more on Sean for not calling the best play, but they gave the Titans the ball way too many times in that game. And then against the Colts, it was so much cleaner until a critical moment, right? When you needed 3 points late. I
always say it was good until it wasn't.
Exactly.
You know, in the case with Bo, it's like you got down there. You know, it was a great drive. But also know that you already have points in your back pocket. You have a field goal kicker who I believe is a very consistent. I don't just believe, like I know he's a consistent field goal kicker, although it didn't show there at the end of the game with Will Lutz. I'm still going to trust him to have a chip shot at the 28-yard line, Indy's 28-yard line, to put some points on the board to help you win that game.
So as it relates to Bo going into this game, one of the big themes after week 1 was he looked a little tight, out of control, crazy, whatever you want to use. He was screaming at people. He was screaming at Lucas Kroll. But then this past week, and we're going to get into it a little more later, he and Sean have another little sideline spat that is kind of going viral. And then he throws the pick late I think we all appreciate his competitiveness, right, and his will to win and his desire. But are you still worried about maybe Bo's attitude, mannerisms, etc.?
No.
Is he not channeling that competitive spirit in the correct way at this point in time?
No, guys, he is still young. I know that age-wise he's 24, 25 years old, but this is his second year. I still want him taking chances. I still want him being aggressive and taking calculated shots. But these are going to be learning curves. These are going to be learning situations where, like, hey, I now know that I have points and I don't have to push this down the field all the time. Maybe I throw it out of bounds and I live for another down. Or maybe I throw it out of bounds and let my field goal kicker give me those points. So he is going to learn from this, and I believe he's a fast learner. He's willing to listen, which that's what this is all about for players. As you get into the league, Will, there's certain players that they start having success and they don't want to listen anymore. For Bo, he is still young. He has a lot to learn, and I think he's going to continue to listen to Sean. Now, also, something that I like what Bo Nix did against the Colts was he did a lot more checking to the run. That's something that he needs to continue to do. Like, lean on your offensive line. Lean on your running backs. Lean on the receivers to do the right things for you. You don't have to be Superman. So I'm not concerned that he's going to take matters into his own hand. He's going to continue to be super aggressive. Like, he's going to take the calculated shots, and he's still going to do what he does best, which is make plays. But also, he's going to be smarter with it because he knows that this is not just about him and Sean. This is about the football team and putting his team in the right situations, in the best situations to have success against the Chargers.
And I know you players and former players have all kinds of different opinions on Pro Football Focus and what it means. And I think guys, when it's kind to them, think this is the greatest thing ever. And guys, when it's mean to them, are like, these guys, these are nerds in London in the basement. They don't know what they're talking about. What do you read into Bo Nix having the worst score on Pro Football Focus through a couple of weeks among quarterbacks?
He needs to pick it up. I mean, I was a guy that looked at Pro Football Focus. There's a lot of players in there that bring it to the contract table and say, hey, look, this is what they have for me. Like the stats are the stats. For Bo, he is not doing certain things good enough. And that's fine. It's week 2. We're going into week 3. He has time to correct it. But he has the offensive line that's holding up for him. He has a run game, but also Sean needs to put Bo in better situations where it's like, hey, let's just run the ball. Let's do more play action. Let's make it easier for you. And then as the game goes on, we'll take those shots. We'll be a little bit more aggressive later on down the line to help Bo out.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. They need to lean on the run game, and R.J. Harvey probably needs to get more touches. I think J.K. Dobbins is going to want a revenge game this weekend against the Chargers, a team that let him walk out the door and told him, hey, we like Omarion Hampton better. We like Najee Harris better. You're gone. And I think, too, when it comes to Bo, that Cortland Sutton talked about this yesterday. He doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
And for whatever reason, through 2 weeks, Bo, to me, is playing like a QB that wants to be perfect. And he was pretty perfect against the Colts for 2.5 quarters. But then, of course, the tires came off the train, so to speak, in the third quarter and the fourth.
But that's human nature for me. All right, my rookie year, I went for 1,000 yards, undrafted. The back of my head, I know I needed to do it again, but I wanted to be better than I was last year. So now I'm straining and I'm pushing for greatness and to be better than I was last year. And there's times where I was pressing so hard that I was missing the hole. And that's something that may be happening to Bo Nix, where it's like you're pressing and you want this to happen so bad, and you practice this throughout the week. And during practice, it's open, but it's not open during the game. But sometimes when you press too much, you miss an open receiver. You miss an open target. And so he just needs to relax, play his game, lean on the run, lean on his teammates, lean on that damn coaching staff. Lean on me.
I love
when
it.
You're not strong.
All right, as the show goes on, I promise we will get into more of that Bo and Sean dynamic. They both spoke about it. The testy, passionate, fiery, whatever you want to call it, interaction on the sideline. But coming up next, the CU Buffs have a sneaky game late Saturday night. How off the rails will those season go if they lose to Wyoming? Phil and I will dive into it.
Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth.
I never realized that this guy was so good run after the catch. Troy Franklin, flat out unbelievable job by him. It has been so impressive watching him take the jump from year 1 to year 2.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And if you're looking for fine jewelry like I was, Why not shop where some of the world's leading designers are sold? Williams Jewelers helped me find my new Twitter watch, and they can do the exact same thing for you as well. And they're going to treat you just like family the minute you step through those doors. For me, they didn't pressure me at all. They gave me the time I needed to make the right decision for myself. Looking at this beautiful watch today, I made a great decision because of that. Starting from one little store in Inglewood, Williams Jewelers has grown into 2 locations and has become one of the largest fine jewelers in the country. So when you step foot into their showroom, you'll feel just like family, and their service is always going to reflect that. They are dedicated and they work hard to make sure you're satisfied with your purchase. And not only will they share the secrets of the business with you, but they will give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why not create moments and memories for yourself or the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, my hometown jeweler. Also the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue and also on Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to let them know that Phillip Lindsay sent you.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Grow, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Grow. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you. Which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/21/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intra-line applied via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data and service series. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Q1 to Q2 2025.
Cake Mortgage Corp. Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1734623. Regulated by the Colorado Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply based on approved credit.
Let's be real. Big Mortgage doesn't get you. They want W-2s, a 9-to-5, and a job title to check their outdated boxes. But you're a business owner who knows how the tax code benefits you, even if the big banks don't. At CakeHome.com, we do mortgages differently. Our non-traditional loan experts get that your full financial picture won't fit on a pay stub. Invoices, bank statements, rental income, we work with that. While traditional lenders are stuck in 1998, we're built for how people earn in 2025. No red tape, no judgment, just smart approvals and sweet mortgage solutions. If you're a business owner or 1099 contractor tired of hearing no, call 888-EAT-CAKE to hear yes. That's 888-EAT-CAKE. Visit CakeHome.com to see reviews from business owners just like you.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, advancedhair.com.
If you've been injured in Colorado, you want Wilhite. After an accident, you want Colorado's accident experts on your side, the Wilhite Law Firm. Get your free case review right now. Just call 303-GOOD-LAW today or visit WilhiteWins.com and win big with Wilhite.
Are you one of those people who dread going to the dentist? If so, have you tried sedation dentistry? Learn more about sedation dentistry at coloradosedation.com. Sit back, relax, and dream with the most experienced sedation dentist and staff at Clarkson Dental.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Saturday night on The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams. CSU football faces UTSA with pregame starting at 6:30. Presented by Rock's Heating and Air.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at wistaracu.com.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, so the Denver Broncos have just wrapped up practice. Will Peterson sitting in for Zach By. We're going to get to the Buffs here in a moment. But, Phil, I've got it right in front of me 3 minutes ago. The Thursday Broncos injury update.
Uh-oh.
Still no Dre Greenlaw. Still no Evan Ingram.
Ooh.
Luca Evans from the Denver Post reports he saw Greenlaw doing rehab work on the side field, but he didn't see Evan Ingram with the back injury at all. Now, we should clarify the media is not allowed to watch the entire practice once we're in the regular season, but still, Greenlaw side field, I know you and Zach have fun, Greg Dulcich Memorial Field, and Ingram just not visible. We'll get an injury report while we're on the air. We'll pass that along officially, but for two high-priced free agent signings, this does not bode well.
No, I mean, these are some of the concerns about when you decide to go out on the free agent market and pick up players on discount deals because of injuries, but you pick them up because they're really good players. But, hey, they're only good if they're on that football field. So for Dre Greenlaw, I mean, I think we all can agree that Dre Greenlaw is not playing in this game. My guessing is he's not playing in week 4 as well, which this is why it leads me to, wonder why. Why would you not just put Dre Greenlaw on IR, which you would be missing 4 games if you're on IR?
The short-term IR.
Short-term IR,
yep.
And just give him the rest that he needs, but also let somebody else be elevated from the practice squad so that they can get their games in, because you need 3 games for it to be a credited season for yourself. And everybody deserves to at least touch that field 3 times to get a credited season. When it comes to Evan Ingram, this is big news because it's Thursday, which Thursday is passing day. It's third down work. It's third down red zone work. And usually you want to get your tight end involved in red zone, third downs, and just be out there running around getting ready for this game. And when you don't see Evan Ingram out there at all, at least you're seeing Dre Greenlaw out there warming up with the team going to the side field, but you're not seeing Evan Ingram out there at all. That's not a good sign. That's a sign that's telling all of us that he may not play in this game. If he's not out there Friday, it's a done deal. He will not play on Sunday. So that's something to keep in mind. What's going on with Evan Ingram? First it was a calf, and now you're saying it's a back injury.
It's a back, which is crazy. It's his second injury in 3 weeks. The calf must be good. It's now the back.
Well, and on top of that, Will, he didn't play a lot. Adam Troutman played more snaps than Evan Ingram. I want to say Evan Ingram played 25 snaps on Sunday and is already dealing with a calf in a back. That's concerning, knowing that we need a joker out there for this offense to be successful. That's something that Sean wanted with Greg Dulcich and was waiting for Greg Dulcich to get healthy, and he wanted to put a lot on his plate. Greg Dulcich isn't able to stay healthy, and it messed the whole game plan up moving forward. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the case here with Evan Ingram, where it's like, if Evan Ingram can't play, what's the game plan then? Because you only have one starter in one true receiver one in Cortland Sutton, and the other 2, Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant. You don't know if they're going to be consistent throughout this year.
Can I give you the good news at least?
Yeah, please. I'm sorry, man. I just had it was in my head. I had to get those thoughts out.
No, it was all great thoughts, particularly why didn't Greenlaw go on IR? Just a roster mismanagement by George Payton and Sean Payton, quite frankly. If he doesn't play this week and doesn't play in week 4, you burned a roster spot on that guy. You could have put him on short-term IR, and guess what? You could have kept Lavelle Bailey. And I understand they got lucky that he came back to the practice squad, but can you imagine the conversation we'd be happening if Bailey was balling somewhere else right now, and you just wasted it by not putting Greenlaw on the short-term IR? Payton and Payton have done a good job, but a misstep by them. Again, we'll pass the full injury report along when we get it. But Greenlaw and Ingram do not practice. Here's the good news, Phil. Tight end Nate Atkins, full go today. Appears to be back on track. You know, I don't think Nate Atkins is Evan Ingram by any stretch of the imagination, but at least with Kroll and Troutman, you could mix in Atkins as well.
Yeah, and he's a fullback. He's more like a joker role for the fullback position because he can be a tight end, but also he's a really good blocker that can help spring some runs, some explosive plays.
And it felt like they designed plays really well for him last year. I mean, there was a couple of touchdowns where, the Broncos are on the 15, 20-yard line. You look up, Bo's throwing to a wide-open Nate Atkins, and he's walking into the end zone.
I mean, look last Sunday, Adam Troutman's touchdown. That was very creative by Sean in the red zone to get Adam Troutman the ball, and Adam Troutman scores his first touchdown of the season.
And then the other piece of good news, I don't even know if a lot of folks were aware of it because it kind of came out of left field, but Justin Strnad got a DNP yesterday with a foot, and that, Dante and I spoke about that on Denver Sports Tonight. It scared us because it's like, well, wait, you don't have Greenlaw. You may not have Strnad, but the good news is today that he did return to practice. I'm not saying he lit the world on fire against the Colts. Alex Singleton certainly didn't. But if you're going to be,
both of them didn't, Will.
But if you're going to be without Greenlaw, then you at least need Strnad. So the good news, Atkins and Strnad back. I'm not putting them in the same conversation as those other two guys, but at least it's not all doom and gloom right now coming out from Broncos Park powered by Common Spirit.
I never thought that I would hear from the scrappy one that Justin Strnad is our savior.
I didn't say he's the
Good
savior.
news.
I'm just saying they're running out of
healthy.
bodies, Phil. If he had been out, who would you have played? Singleton and Bailey?
LaVale Bailey.
And then who's your backup? I mean, Garrett something? There's like a Garrett
Reed.
Wallow or something. Kareem Reed? We would have been worried about that. I think Justin Strnad's on the right track. We'll get to the Buffs in a minute, but real quick on the Greenlaw thing, I'm not going to use the word bust in week 3. I'm certainly not going to use that word. But is disappointing a fair word? Of this far, the 6 months of the Dre Greenlaw era?
No, it's definitely disappointing. I'm glad you didn't go with bust. I mean, the only way you can be a bust if you're out there and you're trying to play and you're just not doing well. In this case with Dre Greenlaw, he's just not out there, man. Like literally, he has been hurt since OTAs. It started in OTAs. He had something done to his quad. All right, then he gets 2 days of practice during camp and messes his quad up again, misses the whole camp, can't play in any preseason games, and then is bleeding into the season. And so now he's going to miss his 3rd straight regular season game, and he's supposed to be a linebacker that we can count on, a linebacker that I believe could have been a leader and a captain this year because he's so vocal. I played against Dre Greenlaw many times, and I know how he is when he's healthy. He's a monster. He's hard to stop. He's hard to block. And he's very smart. And having his presence on that field would help us mightily. But you have to be on that football field. And now he's not. He's going into week 3, and yet he hasn't touched the football field. He's not even practicing. He's on the other side on Greg Dulcich's Memorial Field. And you're losing yourself in the sense of like your endurance, your practicing skills. Getting out there, just running through the motions and stuff so that when you get out there during the game, it's like second nature to you. Now he's having to play catch up, which is very concerning because once he gets back in the game and he's having to go 100 miles an hour, can you stay healthy doing that?
I'm going to challenge you just a little bit.
Please put the red challenge flag out there, please.
You can be a bust if you don't play.
Well,
you just can. And you just told me, well, guys can only be free agent busts if they go out there and play and they're bad. The best thing in sports is availability, and right now Dre Greenlaw is not available to the Broncos. Again, I'm not saying he's a bust yet, but if this goes on all year, you better believe a lot of Broncos fans will say that was a bust of a free agent signing.
So what's considered a bust?
Chris Bryant with the Colorado Rockies.
Okay.
They gave him $180 million, and the guy's played 150 games or something in 4 years?
But also when he's playing, he's not playing well.
He stinks.
Exactly. But he's out there.
So he's not really out there. He's not really out there.
He's out there enough to say he stinks.
True.
All right. So for Dre Greenlaw, you can't say he stinks because he's not out there.
Never said he stinks. Never said he stinks.
Well, then he can't be a bust. If
he never plays, he can be a bust.
If he he's played in this league before, and has been on NFL's top 100 and has been awarded linebacker awards and things like that. So he can't be a bust. But he isn't available. Yeah, you're right. That's very concerning.
By the way, I said earlier in the show that the tires came off the train. Text line's having a lot of fun with that. Yes, I understand the tires can't come off the train. I think what I was looking for was the train coming off the tracks. My apologies off that one. All right, let's do the Buffs thing next because a hungry Wyoming team is coming into town. And right now, I don't know if you can guarantee any wins for Coach Prime and CU. Phil and I will dive into it.
Follow us on X at DEN Sports 1043 for up-to-the-minute information and opinions on all things Denver sports. Also, we can still call it Twitter, right? Denver Sports 1043 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app.
Thinking about buying a home in Colorado? You're not the only one, and now might be your best shot. We're officially in a buyer's market, which means you've got the upper hand. More homes are on the market, competition is down, and serious deals are out there just waiting to be found. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade or downsize, now's the time to get pre-approved. And American Financing can make that happen in 24 hours or less. And here's the kicker. When you work with both American Financing and their partner American Home Agents, you can receive a credit on closing costs of up to 1% or a max of $10,000 on your home loan. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, it's time to step in, and American Financing is the place to start. Don't let the 20% down myth stop you. You could buy a home with as little as 3% down, and with down payment assistance programs available, getting into a home might be easier than you think. Pick up the phone, call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 1823334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season, with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
It's your last chance to take advantage of EV federal tax credits at Siltar Motors. This month, get the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the head-turning Mustang Mach-E with 0% interest for 72 months or lease credits up to $11,000 off. Check out their current selection of EVs at sthmotors.com to get the EV you want before they are gone. Siltar Motors has got the best location, the biggest EV selection in Denver, and the most competitive pricing in Colorado. Siltar Motors will deliver everything you want out of a dealership.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Ho, ho, ho. I know you didn't plan to hear from me this early, but I'm tired of lugging this bowl full of jelly around. That's why me and Mrs. Claus are with Soda Weight Loss now. I'm losing 6 pounds a week, and the wife keeps telling me I'm slaying.
Join Soda Weight Loss right now. When you join, your partner joins for free. Visit sodaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
I'm Dr. Joel Cherdak with Denver Regenerative Medicine. If you're ready to lose weight safely and effectively, we prescribe real GLP-1 medications at standard dosages from licensed U.S. pharmacies, not half-strength drugs from unknown or online sources. Your care is managed by a real medical doctor at a real clinic with telemedicine available. And right now, we're offering a free consultation to help you get started. See real results for under $300 a month. Schedule your free consult today at DenverRegen.com. That's DenverRegen.com.
Winning matters. Postman Law has recovered over $3 billion for clients. Injured? Call 844-POSTMAN. It's free to see if you have a case. Others promise. Postman delivers.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota. Here we go. Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
I think it's safe to say that this Buff season has not been a lot of fun thus far. It's Will Peterson in for Zach By, hanging out with Phillip Lindsay. Phil, I know you're obviously so passionate about that program, and rightfully so with all the success you had up in Boulder, but through 3 games, the Georgia Tech game was just so frustrating between the inability to stop the run, the mismanagement of the clock late, and then even the Delaware game. You don't feel great about that until Ryan Staub comes in right before the half, and then last Friday night in Houston was certainly tough to watch. I'm just curious your thoughts before we get into Wyoming. As a proud alum, a guy's got a lot of records up there.
Yeah.
Does it hurt your heart a little bit to see CU struggling this much early?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely frustrating. I had high hopes, and I still have high hopes for this year, and expectations were, and Coach Prime, set the expectations in saying that they're going to be a better team, and they are a better team than they were last year. Well, that's hard to say when you have Shedeur Sanders, who was a really, really good college quarterback. You had a Heisman winner in Travis Hunter, and you had 3 other receivers go to the NFL. But then for you to turn around this year and say, hey, or face forward this year and say, hey, we're going to be a better team, I was excited. And through the first 3 games, it's kind of been a disappointment just of how it looks. Defensively, with the depth that we have, with the type of players that we have, it's not good enough. And damn sure offensively, we have no identity. As a team, we don't have an identity, but if you want to single it as units, offense has no identity. We don't know what we're good at. We don't know if we can run the ball. The only thing that we can hang our hat on is we have a decent offensive line, and we have a true top 5 pick if he can continue to do his thing in Jordan Seaton. What's in the bag? See, he's going to be a great NFL left tackle, offensive lineman as he gets older. But it's very disappointing right now in what the Buffs are doing, but there's time to turn it around.
Yeah, and hopefully that comes this weekend against Wyoming. The Buffs will host them at Folsom Field. The old 8:15 kickoff. Oof, that's a late one. I know the tailgaters love it because, heck, you can just have dinner and a couple drinks in the parking lot, whatever. But for those of us watching it on TV, let's hope we can go to bed in the third quarter because the Buffs are blowing the Cowboys out. But I've got news on Wyoming. They were down only 3-0 to Utah last week at halftime, the number 20th ranked team in the country. And yes, Utah went on to win the game 31-6. Wyoming lost by 25. But that being said, they played a very competitive half of football against the top 25 team. I'll ask you this, Mr. Phillip Lindsay. Is this a trap game for a football team that's not playing very well right now in Coach Prime and CU?
This could only be a trap game if you were winning all your games. If Colorado would have beat Georgia Tech the first game of the year, feeling good about themselves, if Colorado would have beat Houston and you're 3-0, then you could consider Wyoming a game that you should be able to handle well, a trap game. This is not a trap game. This is a game that you know that if you drop and you're Coach Prime in the bus and you drop this, you may not end up being bowl eligible this year. You have to be able to beat the teams that you need to beat the teams that are supposedly the easy teams. Delaware you were able to handle at the end there, but it didn't look good. Wyoming's going to be a tough matchup because defensively Wyoming has a good defense, a bad offense, but a really good defense. But right now you're trying to figure out who you are as a team, who you are as an offense, who you are as a defensive player. So going into this game, it should be laser focused. Everybody should be ready to go. Everybody should be wanting to score a touchdown. And you look up at the score at the end of this game, it should be 45-0 because you should be that pissed off that you don't look good after 3 games so far.
Yeah, and I appreciate your optimism with bowl eligibility, but they got BYU, TCU, Iowa State, Utah looming. Phil, I'm not sure they get to 6 wins if they lose to Wyoming. They may not get to 4 wins if they lose to Wyoming.
This is why you got to beat Wyoming.
Yes.
And the Big 12 is still wide open. You don't know what to expect. Yeah, one thing that I've learned playing this game, playing in college and the NFL, is when you're watching film, a team may look really, really good against another team, but then they go up against you and they don't look as good. And you're like, they're human. They're just like us. And it's all about matchups. But if you want to have that opportunity to hang and try to get to a bowl game, win 7-8 games this year, because you still can. It's going to be hard to do, but you still can. You got to beat Wyoming, Will. Why are you smiling at me, man?
Because my guy is bleeding black and gold talking about 7 and 8 wins.
Hey, look, I'm just saying it's still out there. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but
it is. And the Broncos could still go 15-1 or 16-1.
They still can.
Could have lost to Wyoming. Like if the offense is the reason why. No one loves to talk about these things, but it has been a topic. Could have cost someone like Pat Shurmur his job.
Yeah, I believe for Pat Shurmur, I mean, Pat Shurmur's been here for 2 years now. All right, the offense didn't look as strong. Even with Pat Shurmur being the offensive coordinator, it was more of a Shedeur Sanders show, and Shedeur running that show and telling Pat Shurmur what he wants done. For Pat Shurmur, he needs to have a good game. He's being evaluated. And if he is not ready for this moment against Wyoming, he is not going to be ready for conference play. He is not going to be ready against TCU, against Utah. And therefore, Coach Prime may be forced to make a decision. Maybe it's not firing him. Maybe it's moving him and letting somebody else call the plays. But Pat Shurmur needs to show up. He needs to show his creativity about being with the run game, with the tight ends, with the pullers and everything that you need to get the running backs and the quarterbacks in open field. If he's not creative enough, then it's going to be an issue for him moving forward.
Yeah, I think the fan base would be kind of up in arms if they lost to the Cowboys. And quite frankly, the fan base may be out on the rest of the season if you lose a game like this. I'm not saying the stands won't be full, because I know they've already had a lot of sellouts, and that's the Deion effect, but the enthusiasm level, if you're 1-3 with losses to Houston and Wyoming, that's just not going to be good. I'm not predicting them to lose this weekend, but I don't think anything's on or off the table for the Buffs. You mentioned 45-0. I think if Shedeur and Travis still played here, I'd be on board with that. 45-0. That's the type of win you should have. I know they're going back to Caden Salter. At least that's the report that came out yesterday. I would just turn it over to Juju Lewis. You might as well let him learn on the job and see if...
You're saying if they drop this game?
I would have turned it over already to him.
No, you don't do that, because there is a lot of turnaround with this team when it comes to older guys. The reason why they've come to this program is that they believe that they can win. If you bring in and you put in Juju, who just turned 18 years old, and you give him the keys, but he's not ready, you're telling everybody around him that you don't care if you win. So... you don't do that for Juju just yet. Now, if you lose to Wyoming, okay, I can see that happening. You may end up losing the locker room if you lose to Wyoming, because you have so many different players from different teams that are with you now, that this is not necessarily a team that's put together and has that chemistry just yet. And they might start being in it for just themselves and their stats and looking for a way out, especially if you get beat by Wyoming when you know you should win.
All right, we'll get back to the Buffs as the show rolls on, but coming up next, Pat Surtain said something kind of shocking at the podium yesterday about his technique against the Colts. You'll hear about it. Phil and I will react.
Should a new adjective be used to describe the Broncos' defense?
This defense that everybody was raving about all offseason. Oh, this could be the best defense in the NFL. This could be a historic defense. Let's retire that for a while. This defense is overrated. They got exposed as being overrated.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity, and the other day I'm over at a friend's place. He's pumped to watch football, but his setup, total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find a game. He claimed to be a big fan, but I feel like I was being fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, well, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications, live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K cable TV box.
It's next man up in Boulder as Coach Prime and the new look Buffs return to action at Folsom Field. Tickets are on sale now, so get loud and cheer on CU as the Buffs battle for a Big 12 title. Tickets are still available for the Buffalo's home matchups against BYU, Iowa State, Arizona State, and more. Lock in your seats by visiting cubuffs.com/tickets or by calling 303-492-8282. Join the action of another exciting season at Folsom Field with your Colorado Buffaloes.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
They say there's no such thing as a free lunch, but not true, I say. Hey, everybody, Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law and 303 Law 4040, and I'm here to tell you about the best, absolute best free meal in all of Denver. Times are tight right now. You go to the grocery store, things are insane, so we all could use a little bit of help. No questions asked. Anybody that needs it can come by every first and third Thursday. Here's how it works. You pull up, you pop your trunk, they put free groceries for the week in your trunk, and they say, how many hot meals do you need? We pass those to you right through your window, and this is good stuff. This is not soup kitchen stuff. I smoke these meats personally. Delicious pulled pork. I got my special secret Chipotle chicken recipe. It is fantastic. Please help us spread the word. Anybody that needs it, Smoky Hill and Arapahoe Road every first and third Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me personally. It's Dan Jacobs at 303 Law 4040.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
This is Jeff for Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Greg.
Hi, my name is Greg. I've been a patient of Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for over 10 years. I noticed that I was really tired. I was lethargic. I didn't sleep really well, and I was overweight. My waist was 4 inches over what it should have been. It was really difficult for me to lose the body shape I didn't like. And of course, my marriage, yes. No man in their 40s wants to have low libido in their marriage. I'm really thankful for this therapy because it just makes me feel the man I want to be, active, at home, everywhere. If you're feeling like I was, call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today and get checked. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Thanks, Greg. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Saturday night on The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams. CSU football faces UTSA with pregame starting at 6:30. Presented by Rock's Heating and Air.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at WistaraCU.com.
Leading off with a big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
All right, we got 1 hour in the books. It's Will Peterson in for Zach By, hanging out, of course, with Phillip Lindsay. Zach will be back tomorrow.
I hope all Zach's golf balls are going into the lake.
Ooh, should tell him that to his face. He gets a little
I will.
sensitive about his golf. And speaking of tomorrow, the 19th, the drive, Zach and Phil heading to Golden for a Bud Light Football Friday. Live from Buffalo Rose, 2 to 6 p.m., Bud Light will be giving away a pair of tickets to Broncos-Bengals Monday Night Football, along with 2 Bud Light VIP tailgate passes. You must be 21 to enter. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the Denver Broncos. Phil, I know that you guys have been to Golden before. Checking out a new place tomorrow in Buffalo Rose. I think the folks are going to come out to see you, but tell us how much fun you had last time you were up there and how much you're looking forward to it.
It was a blast, Will. It was a blast. Like, literally, you go in there and everybody is just welcoming. And it's fun to be around. You get to interact with people that listen to us. And it's fun to just get on the road anyway, because we sit here, we look at each other, and, you know, although you're a good-looking dude, I'm tired of looking at you or Zach. And you want to see the people that are listening to you. And that's something that you get to go down there, and we're going to Golden, and you get to talk to real-life people. And you interact with them, and you ask them questions. They ask you questions. That's what this is all about. And Golden is always a fun time. It's a great turnout.
Yeah, no, I love Golden. Golden's a great part of town. You've obviously got the brewery up there. You've got the golf course, a bunch of golf courses. But I am partial to Fossil Trace because there's a giant boulder in the middle of one of the fairways. You hit this great drive, and all of a sudden you're like, well, 300 down the middle, but I'm behind a boulder. You know, what's my luck? Zach will be there. Phil will be there. Head out to Buffalo Rose tomorrow. Pat Surtain hit the podium yesterday, Phil, and he's the best corner in football. Heck, he's the reigning defensive player of the year. But I think we can all agree, Broncos country can agree, that the game against the Colts was not one of his finest. He got targeted 9 times. We all know about the ankle injury. That was scary. Don't get me wrong, because I started watching replays, and at first I thought he got tangled up with Tyler Warren, and then you watched it again. You're like, I'm not so sure he did.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say it out loud, but your mind goes to some pretty dark places when you see something like that. Fortunately, he was fine. Before we get to PS2 from yesterday, how much do you think the injury affected him in the rest of that game, and how much do you think it factored into the Colts thinking of throwing the football his way?
Yeah, I think the Colts had a great game plan going against PS2. They were going to isolate him, put him on an island, but also do a couple like rub routes, misdirection routes that can kind of confuse PS2. So they went into it saying, we're not scared to throw PS2's way. Now, we're going to be calculated with it, but we're going to at least try it at the beginning and open it up so that you have more opportunities against Riley Moss. I'm not going to call him Riley Boss like Zach. Riley's going to have to earn that name. But then once PS2 got hurt, in your head as a coach, it's like, let's go at him. He was just limping off the field. He needed assistance to get off the field. He comes back in the game, so let's see if he can really compete. Let's see if he can really hang with these receivers. A couple goal balls, a couple drag routes across the field, get him running. And I'm pretty sure in PS2's mind, although he played and he was out there competing and trying, it still hurts. There are times during games with me where it's like I'm trying to tough it out, and it hurts. And I know that once I get home and I'm resting, I'm probably going to swell up. For example, Will, there was a game, the Chargers game, when we were down.
Okay.
It was 2020, and the Chargers were beating us up pretty well at that time. And I had that big-time run. I want to say a 55-yard run. Well, I broke my toe, man.
On that run?
No, before that run.
You went 55 yards with a broken toe?
Yeah, it's like a little
Impressive.
sesamoid that broke off, I guess. And I was already dealing with foot issues throughout that season. And Joey Bosa landed on it and messed my toe up really bad. But I kept going because I said, hey, I'm in a contract year. I've been hurt already twice. I can't be hurt again or it's going to be bad for me. So I continued to play, and I was able to bust off that 55-yard run and block out the pain. But after that, man, my foot was killing me, and it affected me throughout the season. And that's something that you don't want to happen to PS2. I don't think it's going to. I think it's minor. But it's definitely something that you think of throughout a game that can hinder you a little bit.
Yeah, Joey Bosa is not a fun human to have land on your foot.
That's a big boy.
That is a big boy. So Surtain goes to meet with the media and gets asked about it. You know, normally with Surtain, the questions are, what's it like not to be targeted ever? And how do you make plays and this and that? Different type of press conference, and Pat said something fairly interesting about his technique against the Indianapolis Colts.
I think it goes hand in hand. Like, I'm not going to be up here and just, credit him. I know what type of player I am, but There are some points where I thought my technique was a little lazy. Knowing that I could have been better with my placement, my footwork, knowing what certain routes was coming. But also, like I said, they made some great throws, great catches. I feel like I was on them like white on rice. And, sometimes they just make good catches. But, at the end of the day, it's a lot to learn from, a lot to gain from that. It gives me a lot of motivation to make sure that I'm on point and I'm on cue. So
really interesting there. He felt like he was on them like white on rice, which, he was at times. But also, he says his technique was lazy. Really interesting word for PS2 to use. What do you make of that? And also, you played in the NFL. What's it mean when a cornerback has lazy technique?
Yeah, when you talk about lazy technique, it's the footwork. It's the hand placement, the eye discipline. Right? Are you playing zone or man? Man, you know that you're going to have to be a little bit more sticky. White on rice, it's one-on-one. Zone, you have to get back in your zone, but also have the knowledge and understand that you may have to come up a little earlier because there's a guy in the zone or getting ready to come into your zone. The focus level. That's another thing. Focusing on what's going on throughout the game. Focusing on who you're going up against. The game prep before the game. That's something that you think of like for PS2. Like, did you do enough game prepping to understand what was going to go on with Pittman, or if you had Alex Pierce on you? Like, certain things like that. I know there's a guy by the name of Chris Harris Jr. And one thing about Chris was he was always prepared.
No fly zone. No
fly zone. He knew every single play. He knew what was going to happen with the receivers, whether if a receiver's left leg was up, they were going to do this route. If a receiver's right leg was up, they were going to do this route. That's just being focused. That's what it takes when it comes to having the right technique all the time. And you have to also understand with PS2, because he is so dominant, that a lot of times you can fall asleep out there because you don't have these quarterbacks that want to throw your way. But you always have to be on your P's and Q's and understand that at any given time, they're going to try to test you. And now that you have that on film, PS2, they're going to try to go after you. They want to know if you're healthy. They want to know if you can stop some of these routes. And if they want to do that, that's on them. Shame on them, because at some point, PS2 will make them pay because he is the best corner in this league.
But do you think the injury factored into the quote-unquote laziness? Because I'm sure when you broke your foot, all you could think about was, my foot's broken.
Yeah, but once you're out there, you're out there. If you can't play, then don't go back out there.
But he's PS2. He's the best corner in the league. With all due respect, he's better option than Chris Abrams-Drain or Jaquan McMillan at that point.
He's the best option when he's out there making plays, doing what he does best. But if he's out there and he's getting caught on all the time, then you're not better than that next man if you're hurt. Now, in this case for PS2, obviously it's not that bad because he's been at practice. I don't think he's on the injury report.
He's not.
So for him, move forward. It's okay. You're human. People are going to catch the ball on you. You are going to make mistakes. There may be a time where you're in miscommunication with a safety and you give up a deep ball, but you just go back to work, and PS2 knows that.
As we flip it forward to the Chargers, Quentin Johnston, really bad start to his NFL career. Like, Chargers fans are calling him a bust. They're saying they wasted a high draft pick on him. And through the first 2 weeks, I mean, anyone who plays fantasy football knows that this guy was not drafted in a lot of leagues. Now the waiver wires are scrambling to get him. He's got the 2 touchdowns against the Chiefs, the long touchdown against the Raiders last week. But you also have Ladd McConkey. Now, he was on the injury report yesterday as a DNP. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Remember, the Chargers played Monday Night Football, so I'm not going to read too much into a Wednesday injury report. Will Dissly, the tight end for the Chargers. Herbert looks like a beast. We know they're going to try to run the ball. Is this one of those games where PS2 shadows someone, or does he just line up on the side of field that he wants to line up on because the Chargers do have so many weapons?
Yeah, I think this is where you line up on your side of the field. You have to trust the nickel, Jaquan McMillan and Jahdae Barron. You have to trust Riley Moss, and you stay on your side of the field and you lock that side down. Ladd McConkey is a bad dude, don't get me wrong, but we don't know how he's going to play in this game and how hurt he is. Keenan Allen, another one, an older guy that people said was washed up. I wanted Keenan Allen here. I wanted him to be a part of the Denver Broncos.
I was pounding the table for that.
Another asset. Well, Keenan Allen's having a great start, and it does help when you do have Justin Herbert and you are familiar with the system like Keenan Allen is. So I think that PS2 is going to stay on his side of the field. I think that you have to trust what Riley Moss is doing, which Riley's doing some really good stuff. Of course, he's going to give up some big-time plays. He's learning. This is year 2 as a true starter. So he's going to go through some growing pains with that. And then you have to key in and you have to hope that the safeties like Hufanga and Brandon Jones, they can do their part. Brandon Jones, I praised about when it came to his covering skills. And he didn't do a good job of covering some of these slot receivers last Sunday against the Colts. That can't be the case. He has to, Brandon Jones we're talking about, he has to be really sticky, white on rice, like Pat Surtain said, on someone like Keenan Allen and force Justin Herbert to make bad decisions.
But I think too, when you look at it, I agree with you. The Chargers, you can't really shadow anyone in this game. I think against the Titans, it made sense. Like Ridley's the only guy that scares you. Against the Chargers, there's 3-4 guys that scare you. I'm glad you brought up Allen. That was a name I failed to mention, and he's been really good. He's had touchdowns in each of the first 2 games as well. Went to the Bears for that 1 year. Actually put up okay numbers in a Chicago offense that struggled, but I think he's happy to be back home. He clearly wants to retire as a Charger. Would have loved him with the Broncos. That ship has clearly sailed, but does it surprise you that everyone thought Jim Harbaugh, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball? They spend a first-round pick on Hampton. They pay Harris from the Steelers to come on over, and the running game hasn't been very impressive for them. Is this the type of game that a month ago you would have said, I don't think the secondary will be all that tested, but now given how well Herbert's playing and how many weapons he has around him, Justin Herbert may throw the ball 30, 35, up to 40 times this weekend at SoFi.
Will, you want him to throw the ball up to 40 times against our defense because our defense is ready for this. Our defense is built to stop someone like Justin Herbert who wants to throw the ball all around the field.
But they couldn't stop Daniel Jones last week just to play devil's advocate.
But also, when it came to the Colts were able to establish the run, which makes things a lot harder because now you're like, hey, I have to step up in the box to stop the run, and now we have to go man-to-man, and it's just harder to cover when you can't stop one thing. Like, if it would be different if you were stopping the pass completely, and now they're forced to run, and now you one-side them. Now they're one-dimensional. And that wasn't the case with the Colts. They could do whatever they wanted. In this case with the Chargers, if they want to pass, then stop the run. Harbaugh is going to try to get this run game going. That is what he wants to do. His identity as a coach is running the damn football. So we're going to still have to stop the run. But if you can stop the run, make Justin Herbert one-dimensional, so now you're playing 7-on-7, and now you're able to disguise some of your schemes and have certain players drop back. You may have a pass rusher drop back like Nick Bonito to kind of confuse Justin Herbert. Now you're forcing him to make bad decisions. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Justin Herbert is really good in regular season games. We all know that. He isn't worth a damn when you get to the playoffs. But in regular season, he's elite. So it's about getting pressure. Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers, Jonathan Cooper, Nick Bonito. You guys are going to have to get to Justin Herbert. And then it's also about being sticky for Riley Moss, PS2, Hufanga, Brandon Jones, the Nichols. They're going to have to do their part and communicate well, and then you'll have success. So Jim Harbaugh is going to want to run the ball, Will. That's what he does. But if you can take that away, which we can, we have the team to do it. We have the defensive linemen to do it. It ends up being 7-on-7.
Interesting. Well, we'll keep an eye on it for sure. Obviously, the secondary and the linebackers need to rebound after a tough week in Indianapolis. Let's flip it over to the Broncos side of the ball, and Creaky chimes in on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. At some point during this season, do you fellas think R.J. Harvey is going to end up becoming the number one back? We heard from Sean talk about R.J. yesterday. Says, big part of our plans, big part of our plans. The amount of carries doesn't suggest that thus far. How important is it the Broncos run the ball, and do you lean more towards J.K. Dobbins' revenge game, if you will, or do you lean more toward, hey, you spent a second-round pick on this guy for a reason. Let's get R.J. Harvey 10 to 12 to 13, 14 carries.
Obey your eyes right now. Ride the hot hand. It's J.K. J.K. is ready for these moments. He's been in this league. He know as a player, he knows who he is by this time. He's a hard-nosed runner that's going to get downhill, violent. All right, one-step cut. He'll break a couple tackles. He's very patient. He understands the system well right now. And if you can get some more big bodies in front of him, the pullers like Ben Powers and Quinn Miners, he'll have even more success. But you definitely have to stick with the run. You have to get that going. I continue to say this. People don't like it. But I say the identity of this team, whether Sean likes it or not, is the offensive line and the running backs. Run the damn ball. Establish the run, and it's going to set up your pass to play action. It's going to get somebody like Evan Ingram going where now he has more explosive plays. Cortland Sutton's going to have more explosive plays and not one reception for 6 yards. We need to run the ball to establish some kind of consistency. You run the ball to put yourself in third and manageable. force the defense to get in the box so you have one-on-one opportunities, and now they got to go man. All right, so now you'll have a situation where Marvin Mims is streaking down the field for another 40-yard touchdown. Troy Franklin for another 40-yard explosive play. That's what you want, then you run the ball. So, and also it controls the clock.
It does control it, and they probably could have won if they had controlled the clock a little better in Indianapolis and not let the Colts have so many chances to just kick field goal after field goal after field goal and turn a 28-20 deficit into a 29-28 win.
So for the question that our texter said with R.J. Harvey, like, one, you have to be on the field long enough to get going. The more times you're on the field, more opportunities you are going to get. But also for RJ, when you do get your opportunity, you have 5 carries, bust one for 5 to 10 yards, then bust another one for 10 to 15. I know it's easier said than done, but that's how you get more carries. You have to instill some confidence in this coaching staff that you are ready for this. And that's going to take time. But now is not the time when you're in a division game to worry about RJ Harvey's feelings and get him touches. If J.K. Dobbins is doing well and he's handling the load, then let him do that until he cools off. And then you put RJ in there and let's see what he can do. He needs to buy his time. He'll get his time.
And J.K. Dobbins is supremely confident, borderline cocky, and I like that in my running back. I really do. He's got an awesome personality. The first day we got to talk to him at training camp, he was bagging on the Chargers a little bit. I tweeted the video, and all of a sudden, I didn't realize the Chargers had a lot of fans, but the thing got like 500,000 views, and all these Chargers fans are mad at me, and I'm like, I just tweeted the video. I don't know why you're mad at me. It's what JK said, but this dude has a chip on his shoulder. I think he's motivated every game. I think he's very motivated by his health struggles over the last few years. Knock on wood, he looks healthy now. I totally agree with you, Phil. I think R.J. Harvey's the future, but this game in particular, J.K. Dobbins is going to run ticked off. He got 14 carries last week.
You said cocky. What about him is cocky? I know he's confident as heck. I know him as a player, and as a dude, he's confident.
I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but he's said stuff before like, I'm the best running back in the NFL when I'm healthy. And that's borderline cocky in a league that has Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley and Josh
Jacobs. If you don't believe it, who's going to believe it?
I love it, but you asked me why he's cocky. That's why I use the word cocky. But I would turn that 14 carries, Phil, it's got to be 20. I would turn it into 20 this weekend.
You ready to give him 20 knowing his injury history?
I am, because I think he's going to run with his hair on fire against his former team. Does that scare you? Is that too big a number?
No, I mean, for me, it's like if it's working, keep running the ball. Like it's a feel thing. Now, of course, like, hey, you're running the risk of getting somebody hurt, but every time you step foot on that football field, you run the risk of getting hurt. It doesn't matter. You're trying to win this game. For RJ, it's about keeping your feet moving, keeping your feet and legs up in the air when you're in those piles. All right, and that mentality of just running hard. When you start to think too much and you start to pitter-patter your feet, that's when you get hurt. But when your mentality is, hey, get downhill, be physical, all right, get into them, don't let them hit you, but you hit them, usually you stay a lot healthier that way.
And let's call it what it is. R.J. Harvey didn't have a good game. He had 5 carries for 8 yards. He didn't pop at all to me. I was happy that Sean Payton had it more balanced. Bo threw the ball 30 times. They ran the ball 24 times. Now, 3 of those were Bo, so I don't know if I count them quite as much unless they're design runs. But still, it was a more comfortable ratio for Broncos fans. But I would love for you and Zach to be able to get in here on Monday and say, oh, my goodness, they had more carries than passing attempts. Wouldn't that be a nice feeling?
Oh, man. You know what? I may cut my hair off if they have more running attempts than passing attempts, Will. Sean is not going to do that. He is too stuck in his ways. And that's like, I'm a quarterback-minded coach. I want my young quarterback to succeed. I'm smarter than everybody around me, so I want that to show. And in this league, it's a passing league right now. But I would love, you're right, if we can run 30 times and we can control the clock, keep Justin Herbert off the field, kind of stagnate their rhythm, that's what you're looking for, and that's how you have success, and that's how you're going to win this game. Now, will Sean stick with the run? Last time we were in SoFi Stadium against the Chargers, Sean wrote on his play calling sheet, run the ball, and still didn't obey to that. Still didn't listen
he had
to
a
his
note
own
to himself that he couldn't follow.
He said, yo, screw you, the guy that wrote this, Sean. I'm not listening to this writing here. If he can listen to himself this time and run the ball and stay consistent running the ball, they'll have success.
It's like the old cartoon when, they've got the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder. And Sean, clearly, the angel in him was like, run it. Yeah. And then there was that little voice in his head throughout the game. Oh, you want to see Bo throw it, don't you? You want to see Bo throw it.
You want to get a little naughty, don't you?
As you look over at the skill positions, again, Evan Ingram did not practice today. If you're just tuning in, we'll get the injury report here in probably the next half hour to 45 minutes. We'll definitely pass it along to you as soon as we have it. But Cortland Sutton's got to go this week. I mean, I don't know what happened against the Colts. I don't know if it's him and Bo not on the same page. I don't know if Cortland just had a bad game, which guys are allowed once or twice a season. But I'm not saying force it to Cortland, but you also didn't give Cortland all that money for one catch for 6 yards.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. For Court, he has to get going, but Sean has to help him out. All right, if you have teams, which teams are going to key in on Court because Court's our number one receiver, they're going to double him, they're going to play zone and have somebody over the top. So you're going to have to find creative ways to give Cortland opportunities to get the ball, whether there's slants. When's the last time you saw a Denver Bronco do a slant?
I can't think of one off the top of my head
and
in 2 weeks.
Sean's offense is predicated towards like running the ball at times, being explosive, but also the slant route. Like that Michael Thomas was the slant god because of that. We haven't done it since. And so for Cortland Sutton, like it's finding ways to get him the ball. We know he doesn't break tackles. So it's an intermediate game down the middle of the field, the slant routes, the stop and goes, or the dig routes coming back towards the ball. I want to see more of that for Court, but also I want to see Bo looking a different way and then coming back to Court to kind of get the defense and get the safeties to flow somewhere else. So Court has those opportunities to be one-on-one with a cornerback.
Yeah, I would love for them to scheme it up for Cortland this weekend, especially because Adam Troutman, Pat Bryant, and Tyler Bidet all having more receptions than Cortland Sutton. That's just not a formula for winning. With all due respect to those three players, that's not how you're going to get it done on Sundays. And then finally with this offense, again, we have the Ingram question marks, but Troy Franklin, is this sustainable or was that a one-off? That's something I'm curious to see too. We saw the great training camp. We saw the good preseason. I was a big believer he had to do it in the regular season. Well, guess what? He did do it against the Colts. He played out of his mind. He played great. But can he keep up that level of consistency? I thought that Bo and Troy looked like they were back at Oregon. They were clearly on the same page. I'm eager to see if he can do it in back-to-back weeks.
He's definitely going to do it in back-to-back weeks. Once you start to get the confidence, once you start to kind of feel yourself, then you keep feeding that player. You keep giving him that confidence. And for Troy, speed kills in this league. That's something that a lot of players don't have is the speed that Troy Franklin has. Now, for Troy, it's about going out there. It's attention to detail, running the crisp routes, finding ways to do your scramble drill like you did against the Colts where you had that 40-yard nice catch with the hands, with the eyes. Troy Franklin has it all to be a true number one at some point in his career. It's all about consistency. But Sean's going to make sure that comes true and give him as many targets as possible because of his speed.
All right, coming up next in the 3-count, the Rockies made dubious history last night. College football is going even more international than we thought, and a legend of the game of baseball is officially retiring. We'll pass it all along on the other side.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app.
Hey guys, boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This has been a test of the emergency alert system.
CU fans, keep your fix going with Denver Sports CU Football Post-Game Recap. Available every home game exclusively on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Presented by Corwin Toyota Boulder. Family driven for over 100 years.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Muller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Change is always happening. Hey, it's part of life, and when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. But no matter how things change in 5 years, there's one thing that'll stay the same: the price of your internet. Xfinity is introducing the 5-year price guarantee. It means you'll get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with their best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report August 2024.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Protect your home and auto by bundling them with Progressive, and you'll have a little less to worry about. But we know you'll find other things to worry about. Like that text you just got from your boss. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Oh, hey, call me when you get a sec. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, well, at least you protected your home and auto with Progressive, so you don't have to worry about that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
This is Dr. Joel Cherdak with Denver Regenerative Medicine. If you've struggled with weight loss, it's time for something real. We use GLP-1 medications from licensed U.S. pharmacies at full strength, never from unknown or online sources. Your program is overseen by a real doctor with in-clinic care and telemedicine options. Best of all, we're offering a free consultation so you can get started risk-free. Experience real weight loss results for under $300 a month. Visit DenverRegen.com to book your free consult. That's DenverRegen.com.
Attention golf lovers! The city of Aurora has you covered this fall. Home to 5 beautiful courses, there's no better place to play than Aurora. What's up, guys? It's Zach here. I enjoy leaf peeping every fall, but instead of heading to the mountains, I'm heading to my local Aurora golf courses. Saddle Rock, Aurora Hills, Spring Hill, Meadow Hills, and Murphy Creek have stunning Rocky Mountain views with the fall colors we adore. For more information and to book a tee time, visit golfaurora.com and give them a follow on Facebook, X, and Instagram at golfaurora.co.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This segment on The Fan is brought to you by Embers Golf, where your passion meets the green.
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Saturday night on The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams. CSU football faces UTSA with pregame starting at 6:30. Presented by Rock's Heating and Air.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at WistaraCU.com.
Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
All right, we are coming off the top rope with it. It's Will Peterson in for Zach By. Phillip Lindsay is here, and let's get this show on the road. You making fun of me, Phil?
Yeah, man. Like, I thought you were going to say, let's come off the top rope with it.
I should have let you do it.
Yes, you should.
Next time I'm here, it's all you. How's that sound?
All right, I appreciate that.
Here's the thing, is I've been in for Zach enough times. We've worked together for 3.5 years now at this station. We've known each other since Zach moved here. He's a little protective of his copyrighted stuff. He doesn't like when you do it.
Oh, he definitely gets protective over that. I mean, hey, look, Zach is a dramatic type of guy. All right, wears his heart on his sleeve, but he takes pride in what he does. You know, so right now he's probably upset with you and how you did that.
You know what's funny is people always ask me in this industry, what's so-and-so like in real life? You know, my buddies always say, what's Phillip Lindsay like?
Yeah.
You know, when the mics are off or whatever. And I always say nice things.
Oh, thank you.
And I get it about Zach a lot, too. Like, you and Zach tight? Me and Zach are really tight.
Yeah.
Because 98% of the time, Zach's like the chillest, coolest dude. But he has that 2% where you're like, oh, I see where, you know, some of his upbringing and childhood. Like,
Zach can be feisty now.
He can, like, you don't want to tick him off. And I've seen
I love to tick him off. I love when Zach By gets mad at me.
I think Zach's been
Mad Zach By is a great Zach By.
Truly angry at me like twice, and it was not real fun. All right, let's start with the NCAA football going international. Arizona State and Kansas are going to play in London at Wembley Stadium next year. Game scheduled for next September will count as a home game for the Jayhawks. First ever FBS college football game in London. Game is scheduled as part of a multi-year deal for the Union Jack Classic. Obviously, we know they play that one game, in Ireland every year that kicks it off.
Yep.
But how do you feel about college football going international, more overseas, especially in the middle of the season? This feels very NFL-esque.
It is. I don't like it at all. All right, college is all about the atmosphere. College is all about the student sections and what they look like and the chants and the culture there. And now you're taking that away. I mean, how many students are going to be able to be at these games? How many students are going to be able to afford a plane ticket and then find a hotel? It would be fun to do, and for the team, for the players, it's going to be a fun experience. But this is college football. That's something you do in the NFL. Like, I don't like it at all. Keep it home here in America, and you call it a day. Let your students. It's college football atmosphere. It's the mascots. How would you get Ralphie on a plane? Now, I know they were able to do it when we went to the Alamo Bowl, but think about.
Well, didn't they drive her? Was she on a plane?
No, they drove her.
Yeah, you can't drive across the Atlantic Ocean last time I checked.
Well, like a Longhorn for Texas. How would they get that big boy on a plane? You can't. So I don't like it at all. Will, what do you think?
No, I think it's silly. I think this is. I mean, you mentioned the word student. I understand there are guys on the football team that are students because they understand I'm not going to the NFL. I got to get my degree. I got to get a real job. But we're removing further and further from that label. Because how much class are the ASU and Kansas kids going to go to that week? Very little. They're going to fly to London on, Wednesday to get their bodies acclimated. They're going to come back. They're going to be readjusting. They got to play a game the following week.
I mean, Will, those kids don't go to class anymore.
But there are kids on football teams who go to class.
Sure, you would hope. I don't know.
I mean, I think there's a kid out there who's smart enough to realize I'm not going to the NFL. I need to take my academics seriously.
What they're doing now? They're doing a lot more online classes. I talked to the academic advisor for Colorado last year, and she said that more than half the kids take online classes now. So they're not even in the buildings. And there's a big old building over there for the student athletes to study called Study Hall. You go to the Study Hall, and it's Dale Ward. But a lot of students are not there anymore because of the online classes.
All right, but again, you call them student athletes. They're becoming more and more just athletes at this point, especially with London games in the middle of September. We both agree that this one's kind of silly.
1, 2.
The Colorado Rockies made dubious history last night. First team in the modern era since 1901, 124 years ago, to cross the negative 400 run differential mark. The previous record was minus 345 by the 1932 Boston Red Sox. Think about that. The opponents, 32.
Oof.
The opponents have scored more than 400 runs than the Rockies this season. They're 41-111. They have to lose 10 straight to match the White Sox record a year ago. But, Phil, they're still making plenty of history. This is embarrassing. Not only are they losing, they're getting their tails kicked in more nights than not.
It's bad. I mean, we know that. When you're going to these games, you're watching the game just to watch it. You're watching it and you're enjoying the ballpark. But if you're sitting here thinking that the Rockies are some special team that you just want to go see these players, you're sadly mistaken. Like, put us out of our misery already with this. And I know it's almost over. So we only have a couple more games until we don't have to watch this anymore. But it's bad, Will. It's bad.
It's really bad. And by the way, putting this on your radar, their season ends Sunday, September 27th. The Broncos do not play that day. They play Monday the 28th. Bengals, Monday Night Football. You remember what the Rockies did when they fired Bud Black? They fired him in the fourth quarter of a Nuggets playoff game. How Rockies is that? They knew it would get no attention. We were all locked in on Nuggets Thunder. Watch them fire the GM or fire the manager during Monday Night Football so it gets lost in the shuffle. That would be so Dick Monfort-esque.
It's on my radar. I'm going to be paying attention. If you're right, Will, somebody might need to write you a check because you know the future of a lot of things. But if you're wrong, I'm not listening to you anymore, Will.
Well, you think they're just going to keep everyone? Because that would also be Dick Monfort-esque.
No, I think they're definitely going to make a change. They have no choice but to make some type of change. But it's going to be after this season's done. And it's almost done. We're almost done.
1, 2, 3!
Thank goodness we are almost done. Hey, Clayton Kershaw, a legend of baseball. There's no doubt about it. I mean, even as Rockies fans, you have to tip your cap to this guy. Just unbelievable career with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He has said within the last couple of hours that he will retire at the end of this season. Now, that could, of course, be after a series in the playoffs. That could be after another World Championship for Kershaw and the Dodgers. It stinks that the Rockies, over their 30-plus year history, have never had a pitcher even close to Clayton Kershaw. Maybe Ubaldo Jimenez, but he did it for like a season and a half. What do you make of Kershaw announcing it now, Phil? Does that put more or less pressure on the Dodgers to send him out on top?
I mean, I definitely, you as a player, you definitely sit there and say, hey, I want to leave my guy with like the best moment ever, and that's winning another World Series. So everybody in that building's motivation is to get him another championship. But also for him, he knows that he has done it all. He has won awards. He has won a championship, a World Series. Like, he just wants to be, at the end of this, he wants to sit here and say, hey, I had a great run at this, and I get one more opportunity to do it with some great people around me. Whether they win or lose, it doesn't matter. He's done, obviously, and he's done enough to say, I don't need to do any more. I've done everything. Goodbye. It's great that he gets to leave on his own terms. A lot of people don't get to do that.
No, surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about it. Dante Gomez is our baseball expert. He's got a question for you, Phil.
Phil, knowing athlete was going to retire at the end of the year, I guess it was a little different in your situation because you kept playing, a little bit there. But is there anything like playing through injuries or, like making sure you leave it all on the field, a little extra you can give knowing that, hey, the finish line is only a month away?
I've been around a couple of players that it was their last run. There was a last run and they knew it. And for them, it was like, I got to stay as healthy as possible because I want this to be a special moment, a special year for me. But you know that things are going to happen no matter what. Like, that even if I get hurt in game 2, that I'm done. I have nothing left to give. And you asking that question, DG, like, there's a lot of players out there that don't get that opportunity and wish they have the opportunity to live on their own. But I know for me, I knew that, like, hey, my goal was 7 years. After 7 years, if they got rid of me or they kicked me to the curb, I was going to be okay with that. Now, I didn't get to the 7 years, but it started to go in the back of my mind as time went on and I started to move from team to team that this may be it for me. And I have to start figuring out what else I want to do in my life other than just play football because I'm not just a football player. And it's sad, but it's something that you have to work through in your head. And a lot of these players that are going to do this, they're working that through their head, and their body's talking to them, but also their mind saying, it's over, buddy.
Yeah, and we've seen retirement tours in the past that have lasted full seasons.
Yeah.
You see that in the NBA a lot. For Kershaw to announce this on September 18th, he may play for another 2 weeks, he may play for another month and a half, but regardless, a legend of the game is going to call it a career. Coming up next, we heard from Darren Rizzi today. Darren Rizzi at the podium, the Broncos special teams coordinator, and of course, the special teams were a debacle against the Colts. What happened on that costly leverage penalty? You'll hear from Rizzi next.
The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
There are a lot of issues. I mean, think about it. All three levels of the defense struggled mightily. Up front, the linebackers, the secondary. I mean, name me a Bronco defender that had a good game.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, fellas? Phillip Lindsay here. And if you're driving down the street wondering, man, why am I so tired? Why don't I want to go to the gym? And when I do go to the gym, why don't I have the energy to want to get this done? Well, guys, you're probably dealing with low testosterone. But I'm here to tell you that Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic are experts in treating low T and other men's sexual health conditions. They've successfully treated tens of thousands of men that are dealing with low T, and these men have seen amazing differences that those treatments can make in their life. And if you're like many of them out there, which you may be, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return, the brain fog will go away, your sleep will improve, as will those workouts. And that sex drive, fellas, that sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. So all I'm asking you to do is take the Low T quiz on their website. It's a simple 10-question quiz full of yes or no answers. It takes 2 minutes to do. Then you'll schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They will draw your blood and have the results within 30 minutes. And here's the thing, you may be driving down the street saying, it's too far. No, it's not. There are 5 locations in Colorado to serve you. Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, Castle Rock, and Colorado Springs. So give them a call today at 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Advent Health is Littleton's home for highly specialized, life-changing heart care. From preventive screenings to personalized treatment options, it's heartfelt care from expert hands. The Advent Health Heart and Vascular Institute is now open, ready to provide wholehearted care for your whole health.
Winter and the holidays will be here before you know it. Don't wait to upgrade your home. Order windows or siding from 5280 Exteriors before the Colorado snow flies. Enjoy low-interest financing for 15 years, often better than your bank, with no prepayment penalty. Stay warm, boost your home's value, and pay less each month. Prices go up every year, so lock in your free quote today. Host the next game day party at your house. Call 5280 Exteriors now and see how low your monthly payment can go. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. It's football season, and did you know that I am the reigning fan staff champion in the King Supers Football Pick'em? Yep, Stokely, Schlereth, Zachby, Cecil Lemmy, none of them can hang with the judge when it comes to football. Just like those made-for-TV lawyers can't hang with me in the courtroom. When you've been hurt in a car accident, you want the real deal, which is what you get when you call 303 Law 4040. Not some made-for-TV character. When you call 303 Law 4040, you speak directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly, not some call center overseas. And you get to meet with us in person for free. We never take a dime unless we win for you. Plus, no ridiculous fees like those TV characters. You were the one that was hurt, so the doctors and the lawyers shouldn't take all the money. So go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040, 303 Law 4040.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
So it's coordinator day down at Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit. Will Peterson in for Zach By. He is teaching children how to golf today. That's an accurate statement, right, Phillip Lindsay?
Yeah, we're going to go with that.
I thought you told me that's what he was doing.
He is. He's doing some charity work for kids and golfing. I don't know how much teaching he's doing.
But he's out there.
He's out there.
And if if little Billy needs a tip, Zach will offer it. Hey, Billy, you're taking your 8-iron too far back, Little
Billy or little Antoine, one of them.
We will have to check in with Zach tomorrow. You'll do that as you guys are on remote up in Golden. Coordinator day, though, Phil. Always an interesting day because before we get into it, let me just ask you this. Out of the three coordinators, Joe Lombardi, Vance Joseph, Darren Rizzi, who do you want to hear from? Because my answer is pretty clear, and it's only one guy.
I'm going to go with VJ.
Exactly.
The defensive coordinator. I mean, supposedly we have a defense, and I do believe it, but, supposedly this defense is supposed to be number one this year. So I want to hear from VJ. Also, I have a built-in excuse because that was my coach. So, I have a little soft spot for VJ, but he needs to go out there and do his job. But I want to listen to what VJ has to say about his defense. That is a dominating defense usually.
And I agree with you on almost every day. Thursday, coordinator day, I want to hear from VJ. With all due respect to Joe Lombardi, Sean Payton runs the offense. And with all due respect to Darren Rizzi, I don't really care about special teams unless something went wrong. Well, we both know something went horribly wrong against the Colts, an inexcusable leverage penalty on a 60-yard field goal. Just let him kick it. If he makes it, tip your cap. It wasn't Brandon Aubrey, right? It wasn't Justin Tucker before everything happened with him. It was a journeyman kicker whose career high was 54 yards in Notre Dame. The Broncos were way too aggressive.
So hold on, Will. You don't think they should have brought any type of pressure?
I would have leaped in the air. I would have just told my guys, just jump up, try to block it. But no, you can't put it in the officials' hands there. I mean, Phil, not only was the kick wide right, it was short.
No,
you should be 2-0. You should be 2-0, and you screwed up. And in my eyes, Darren Rizzi screwed up, the new special teams coordinator. So on a day that is about the coordinators, you're not going to hear from Darren Rizzi very much. But we all agreed, and I think the listeners will agree, we want to know, Darren Rizzi, what happened on that leverage penalty?
Yeah, Mike, I know Sean went through a lot of it already, so I'm not going to read all the things that he said. But from a coaching standpoint, the thing that's disappointing to me is the execution part. That's on me. As a coach, any coach, if you go out, we're not lined up correctly, and we didn't execute the call that was called. And so, that's what keeps you up at night as a coach. So as far as the penalty goes, listen, the leveraging call, was it letter of the law of foul? Yes. Are there many of those throughout the year that don't get called? Yes. So I get it. I guess probably because the play was in an escalated situation. But again, we'll learn from it, move on, and again, like I said, I know Sean's covered a lot of it, so I'm not going to double, reiterate all the things he said.
All right. Well, first of all, you're the special teams coordinator, so you should have to speak on it. I don't like the whole Sean talked about it, so I don't need to talk about it. That's literally one of your only jobs is kicking field goals and protecting field goals, and you screwed it up royally, Darren Rizzi.
But he did say that it's on him. Isn't that what you wanted to hear? Him take like the blunt of like, hey, this loss is on me. And it's about the execution.
Well, he never said the loss was on him.
Well,
he didn't say anything that extreme.
The loss was on him.
It was.
In the special team.
Look at you coming around.
Well, I'm not coming around. I'm being real. Like, you're watching the game. You have a chance to win the game with Will Lutz. You missed that field goal. All right, so you're already frustrated if you're the coach, if you're the special team coach, Rizzi. You're frustrated. And then you end up with a leverage penalty, which he is right. You can watch the game this next Sunday coming up. And there's going to be 4 or 5 teams that did the exact same thing the Denver Broncos just did, and they're not going to get called for it. So he took accountability. Isn't that what you wanted?
Some accountability, but I took 4 notes during that answer because this is the first time I've heard it. Okay. First time you've heard it. We've been on the air. Rizzi just talked. I mean, this is fresh audio. We didn't get to watch it live. We were doing radio. He said something that got my antenna up. He said we were not lined up correctly. Is that him taking accountability, or is that him throwing the players under the bus?
Well, it's him being honest.
But he said we were not lined up. How does that happen? What do you work on? You guys have been in the building since the middle of July, and you can't line up correctly on a field goal in September? That bothers me as a Broncos fan.
Although people are going to say it's his fault, how is that his fault if he's telling somebody throughout the week, this is how it's ran? This is how you line up. You go through it almost every single day, and yet you get into the game and a player messes up or doesn't line up right. That's on him. And now the player may lose his job because the NFL is not kind to people that continue to make mistakes, especially when you look up and you lose because of it. So for Rizzi, like, yeah, you're gonna fall on that sword because you feel like, hey, as a teacher, I'm not teaching something well enough. So obviously I need to figure out another way to get to this player or players. But for a player, it's about taking accountability of like, hey, I was supposed to be in this gap and I wasn't. That's my fault. We lost because of it. So I'm not going to put it on Rizzi.
I think he didn't pound it in their head enough if they're not going to line up correctly. I mean, we all think of the Herb Brooks again. Maybe Rizzi should have done that. Maybe he should have said, we're going to do this again. And guess what? He's probably doing that this week. He's probably telling Sean, hey, all the offense and defense can go in the building, but I need another half hour with my guys.
But see, that's you don't get a half hour. See, that's the issue when it comes to special teams. Special teams unit meetings are literally 15 minutes. So you might go an hour and a half, 2 hours of offense and defensive meetings, but the special team coach may get 15 to 30 minutes. So he's not getting a lot of time. No matter where I've been, the special team coach gets the poop end of the stick.
But how many hours are you guys in the building for on an average workday?
I mean, 7, 8, maybe even more than that. Truly, it's a lot of time. But special.
Well, then we should find more than 30 minutes.
They don't give it to him. No,
but
I
that's
agree
silly.
with you. I
if
agree
you
with
have
Sean,
8
Sean
hours,
should probably give a special team coach more time, and maybe he does. But if you're having players mess up, it's because players are not listening in the meetings. Because there's times where I would be in special team meetings, I'm looking around, and you got players that are second on the depth chart. They're on their iPads doing something else, texting on their iPads, and not focusing up on, hey, I need to move one gap over when it comes to the field goal team. But sometimes players don't take that serious because they're playing on different units, and they're adding more to their play with the special teams. But that will also get you fired. So for Rizzi, it's about making sure that these players are listening, because not only is Rizzi's job will be on the line, but another player's job will be on the line as well if this happens again.
Yeah, D'Andrea Tillman was the one who the penalty
There
was
you
called
go.
on.
Yeah.
Owazarike was in the middle of that. They incorrectly said it was him on the field. They changed it after the game. A couple other notes from that answer, Phil. He said by the letter of the law, that was the correct call. But like you mentioned, you can watch other games and it's not going to see it called. I do like the fact that both Sean and Rizzi, to give credit here, are not sitting here playing the woe is me, the official screwed us card.
I'm glad you're giving some kind of credit.
Because Broncos country doesn't want to hear that. They want you to know we put it in the officials' hands. And I saw a lot on social media, wow, the refs jobbed us, this and that. I'm glad the coaches aren't pulling that card, because that's not a healthy card for them to pull. Especially not at this point of the season.
No, and you also have to understand, like, if you start picking on these refs, you're going to be in a situation where these refs are refereeing your game again. And if you talk bad about them, they're going to remember that. And now they may come up with some ghost penalties throughout the game that ends up turning that game around for the worse for your team. So you have to also understand that this is a long season. You're going to see those refs again. They made the call. It was the right call, and you move on.
You move on, indeed. Speaking of moving on, I'm so excited to be here on a Thursday because Phillip Lindsay, Dante Gomez, Drew Spivak, and myself will move on to trivia next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
CU fans, keep your fix going with Denver Sports CU Football Post-Game Recap. Available every home game exclusively on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Presented by Corwin Toyota Boulder. Family driven for over 100 years.
Okay, Michael. Any other questions about your Select Health insurance?
How much time do you have?
I have exactly as much time as you need.
Wonderful, because I have exactly 112 more questions.
112.
112.
112 it is. Let's do this.
Real people, real answers in real time. Select Health, insurance made simple. Learn more at selecthealth.org.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, 2-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. I have a true treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins gallons and score big before the sale ends.
It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Saturday night on The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams. CSU football faces UTSA with pregame starting at 6:30. Presented by Rocks Heating and Air.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at WistaraCU.com.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Halfway through on a Thursday. Yes, your weekend is right around the corner. It's Will Peterson in for Zach By. Phillip Lindsay's, of course, here as well. So are Drew Spivak and Dante Gomez. Fellas, the morning show went 4-0 on trivia today. Boy, do we have our work cut out for us. Phil, how you feeling?
I feel great. I feel great if Drew and Dante feel good.
Fellas?
How you feel?
Let's be great. Let's do it.
I'm fine. Drew?
But, and I'll say this. I feel great, but I want to give a shout out to the morning show because they did an awesome job working their way through our questions. They were all four were tough questions this morning, and they nailed it, man. They were good this morning.
Very impressive and pretty entertaining. It's in the 4th hour of their podcast if you want to go back and listen.
And yeah, you guys didn't throw them any softballs. I was here last night when you were coming up with the questions, and I didn't know that Reggie Bush played for the San Francisco 49ers, for example, and they were able to pull that one out. So well done to them. Dante, go ahead and hit the music. And question 1, please.
Question number 1, college football. Last week, West Virginia beat Pitt. What is the nickname of their rivalry game?
Oh, that's easy.
I think I know it. Who wants to take the credit?
Well, if you think you know it, go ahead.
We can all say it on 3 because I think I know it as well.
Do you know it, Phil?
No.
No. You don't know what the Pitt West Virginia game's called?
No.
All right, we'll say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Backyard brawl.
I did know that.
Even in that, Drew had to be a little goody two shoes, a little kiss ass.
But I knew Drew was gonna know that from right off the bat. Like he's the college guru right now.
I could probably name most of the rivalry games in college football, which is sad.
I mean, you can name all the stadiums.
I can.
Crazy.
Yeah, mascots,
You got the Iron Bowl, Alabama, Auburn. What are some other famous ones, Drew, as long as we're going to brag?
You got the game, Michigan, Ohio State, Battle for the Victory Bell, USC, UCLA, the Territorial Cup, Arizona State, Arizona, Battle for the Iron Skillet, SMU, and TCU. A lot of good stuff.
What's Alabama, LSU again?
They don't really have a rivalry name. But you got Alabama, Auburn, which is, like Will said, the Iron Bowl.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's go with the backyard brawl.
All right.
Send it in, Jerome! Answer, the backyard brawl.
Gave us a softball. We appreciate it. 3 of the 4 of us had it. Phil claims he had it after the fact. Once we said it, you knew it, right?
Yeah, what you guys said, I was like, okay, cool. But I didn't know. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I knew
Will,
it.
stop trying to divide us. We're a team here.
Just saying, 75% is a pretty good percentage off the bat.
It is. Yeah, we'll take it.
Sounds like my grades in college when I was just trying to get that degree at the end. Let's hit question number 2.
Question number 2, baseball. Which team has the most regular season wins since the year 2000? Is it the Dodgers, Cardinals, Red Sox, Yankees, or Braves?
So they give us 5 contenders, teams that year in and year out you generally expect to be in the playoffs. The Cardinals, the Dodgers, the Yankees, Red Sox, and Braves. Do I have that list correct, fellas?
Yeah, it sounds right.
So here's the thing. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be about championships as much as it is about consistency.
Right.
And you just look up every year and they're winning 85 to 90 games.
Are you thinking the St. Louis Cardinals?
That's where my mind went initially.
Ooh.
Agreed.
And I think not the Yankees, no?
The Yankees have, I don't think they've had a losing season in like a long time. And from 2000 to 2009, they were like an ALCS team every single year.
That's true.
I like the Yankees.
I actually wanted to rule out the Red Sox and Cardinals.
I went to school in Missouri, and those Cardinals fans bragged every year. We win 85 to 90 games every single year.
But so did the Dodgers and Braves and Yankees.
The Braves have had a couple down years in there. I think we can probably rule out the Braves.
Rule out the Braves?
I think so.
I'm good to rule out the Red Sox too. I don't think.
I think I am too.
Because they've been good consistently, but they've had some down years.
They
Especially
also
the last
won
5 or 6 years.
3 titles in the 2000s.
They did,
including ending October here. They won in what 04, 07, and like 13 or something.
But the Red Sox, like when they're good, they're good. But when they're not winning World Series and stuff like that, they've been a little rough.
Let's go with the more consistent teams that are winning almost every single
I don't
year.
think it's the Red Sox. Then.
No.
And we're ruling out the Braves too.
I think so.
So we're down to 3. We're down to the Cardinals, the Yankees, and the Dodgers.
What about the Dodgers? What do you guys think about the Dodgers?
They feel like the Yankees. Like they win every single year.
Yeah.
They're winning 90, 95
But that
games.
started a little later. That was like starting since like 07. Weren't they not as good in the like early parts of 2000?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, you had the Padres and Giants winning the NL West somewhat consistently at that point.
Diamondbacks were pretty good back then too in the mid 2000s. Won a World Series obviously in 01.
Let's get rid of the Dodgers because that way we can just make it 2-2. Dante and Phil like the Yankees. Drew and I like the Cardinals.
You like the Cardinals?
What is the tiebreaker, fellas?
Why the Cardinals? Why are you guys so?
They've been bad lately. The last like 4 years,
Ever
they've
since
not
they
been good.
traded for Nolan Arenado.
That's the only thing that I think brings them down.
Is the Yankees too obvious though? I mean, it's the freaking Yankees.
Yeah, but I think Dante's right. Like they don't have losing records. Like even when they're not winning World Series, obviously, and they're not in the ALCS, they're good every single year. They're in the playoffs every single year.
I mean,
the Cardinals, you can't say that the last 3 or 4 years.
The Yankees run from like 96 to 04. I think they were in the World Series like 8 of those years.
Well, that only counts for half this question.
No, I know,
Since
but they've been
2000.
good since as well. I mean, they won the World Series in 12. They had A-Rod and Jeter. Like,
I think I'm leaning Yankees now.
Yeah?
Honestly, yeah, I do.
All right, well, I'm outnumbered. Let's go ahead and
Send it in, Jerome!
Yankees.
Let's go.
Answer: the New York Yankees.
Well done, boys.
Let's go.
Nice job. Nice job. I appreciate Drew. Sometimes you can't be stubborn. You guys know I have a problem with being stubborn.
Of
So I
course,
appreciate
yeah.
Drew talking his way through that one.
It was just when Dante said, the winning every year, because
Yeah.
he's right. They don't finish below 500. They just don't.
And we would have overthought it, quite
Yeah,
frankly, if we
yeah.
had gone with the Cardinals. All right, let's sneak in a third trivia question here.
Question number 3. Which current NHL head coach has the most career wins, including the playoffs? Is it Anaheim's Joel Quenneville, Tampa's John Cooper, Florida's Paul Maurice, the Avs' Jared Bednar, or Detroit's Todd McClellan?
Oh,
that's
I
a
knew
good
he was
one.
going to throw in Jared Bednar.
did you get all the names, or do you want me to replay?
I've got them all down. We've got
You got 'em?
Quenneville, Cooper, Maurice, Bednar, and McClellan.
I mean, the first thing you think of is Florida.
See, the first one I went to was Joel Quenneville because they won 3 Stanley Cups. I mean, the
right.
Blackhawks were a dominant team basically from 09 through about 2016.
And we do know that the question included playoff wins. And to
Right.
win a Stanley Cup,
Yeah.
you have to win 16 playoff
Correct,
games.
and they did it 3 times.
So he got a bonus 48 right there
Correct.
in those 3 seasons.
Now, the thing with Quenneville is he hasn't been head coach for the last 3 or 4 years now. He was in Florida, I think, a year or 2 before he got suspended.
He was with the Avs.
He was.
He had a cup of coffee here,
He
not a
did.
ton of success.
Yep.
What about John Cooper, though? Because the Lightning just win and win and
They
win
do.
and win.
And they started
They
that
do.
run, what was it, 2019, I think, is when they started their back-to-back cup runs.
But weren't they a team that would win like a bunch of regular season games before winning the actual cup? Like, didn't they lose to the Capitals?
It was the Blue Jackets in the first round when they were like a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
In fact, I think
Yes.
they might have gotten swept.
I think they
in that
got
series.
swept. So, like,
Yeah.
even that would count towards this as
Right.
well.
But the regular season wins count, too.
It
It's
does.
That's what
it's
I'm
a
saying.
combo.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so
all
you're
those
agreeing
regular
that
season
Cooper's
wins.
in this conversation.
Yes.
So what about our guy Bednar? What we thinking?
Yeah, have any of these guys been a coach just like way longer than the
Bednar's
other
been,
ones?
woo.
Well, Quenneville's been around as an NHL head coach
Correct.
a lot longer than Jared Bednar.
He
Yes.
has.
I think Bednar's a curveball here. I'm willing to rule him out. And Drew, you're the NHL expert. I consider myself an ads expert, but McClellan's not on my radar at all.
McClellan probably wouldn't be on mine. Paul Maurice wouldn't really be on mine either because Maurice won in Winnipeg, but not as much as some of these other guys.
So we're down to Cooper and Quenneville. Is the group okay with those
I think
two?
so, yeah.
And Cooper, remember, he had a little meltdown
He
after
did.
Game 4, Avs and Lightning, the year they won the Cup in 22. He basically cried at the podium.
Yeah.
Wait until you see the video. And it was when Nazem Kadri scored, and we all watched the video, and we're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't think it's Cooper.
The only thing that's scary, because I do feel like it's Quenneville. It worries me with him being out the last couple years if some of these other guys have caught up to him.
But also that's what he wants you to think.
I know.
Because he's been out.
Quenneville's done it for the longest time.
And he won in Colorado.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
he won in St. Louis.
That's a curveball, too. He was
I
part of the
think it's
Colorado.
Joel Quenneville.
I'm fine locking in Quenneville. How about you
Let's
two?
do it.
I lean Cooper, but you guys are definitely, I'm going to default to you on NHL.
All right, Joel Quenneville.
Send it in, Jerome!
Answer, Coach Q, Joel Quenneville.
Let's go!
Oh, let's go, baby.
We are 3-0. Let's go ahead and get question number 4 in here. See if we can match the morning show with a perfect record.
Which school did Robert Redford receive a baseball scholarship to? Was it USC, Kansas, Columbia, Colorado, or Virginia?
All right, Drew.
I believe the answer is the University of Colorado, because I know he went to Colorado. But the whole phrasing of receiving a baseball scholarship, now they used to have baseball back in his day.
Baseball. Colorado hasn't had baseball for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, but Robert Redford he passed away, but he was, I think, 89.
Yeah, he was 89. So
he would have been in college when they did have baseball.
I just don't know if it's like
Colorado, though.
I don't know if it's a trick question whether or not he received a baseball scholarship or not. I know he went to CU. I just don't know if he played baseball there or received a scholarship.
In some of the tributes, as Redford passed away earlier this week, CU was mentioned.
Right.
So that's where my mind went as well. Now, that said, I would just be shooting darts if I said USC, Kansas, Columbia, or Virginia.
Agreed.
I would have absolutely no idea.
I think we just go CU.
I think we need to lock in CU because it's the only one that we have any frame of reference
Correct.
for.
So he bleeds black and gold, huh?
I believe so.
If he played
Let's go.
baseball at Virginia, then more power to him. I'm just not going to get that.
Agreed. Yeah.
Dante, you good?
I like it.
Phil?
Let's go.
Send it in, Jerome!
Answer, the University of Colorado.
Let's go!
Fun fact,
4-0.
Redford attended the university on this scholarship in 1955, but eventually lost it due to excessive drinking and partying, leading him to leave to pursue a career in acting.
Wow.
That's what Boulder would do to you.
4-0, boys. Let's go.
Wow, look at all. And the more, you know what? Just good all around on the station.
Absolutely.
An 8-0 day. Well done, fellas. Good questions. And I love the history lesson from Mike Evans there giving us the answer. Phil, when you get to Golden tomorrow, this has got to be the first thing you tell Zach. Perfect 4-0 without him.
I wonder if he's going to be happy for us, guys. You know, he should be.
He should, but I mean, you were in the league. There's definitely guys out there that are hoping that their team's not as
Turning down
successful
our
without him. Yeah.
All right.
All right, well, hopefully Zach's listening. If he's not, you'll have to ask him the 4 and see how he does on his own. Coming up next, Vance Joseph also at the podium today. Broncos defense was not good against Indy. How do they improve against the Chargers? We will dive into it.
Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth.
I never realized that this guy was so good run after the catch. Troy Franklin, flat out unbelievable job by him. It has been so impressive watching him take the jump from year 1 to year 2.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. And guys, summer is over, but you know what that means. Football is back, Broncos country. So whether you're heading to Empower Field or traveling to Boulder to cheer on Coach Prime and the Buffs, you need to get there on time and in style. And speaking of, if you're trying to go to a Broncos game, you can get 30% off your ride to the game with Hermes Worldwide for the entire season. All you have to do is mention the code PL30. Again, mention that code PL30 when you book your luxury transportation to Empower Field. Let Hermes Worldwide handle all your transportation needs, the parking, the traffic, all of it, and let them also get you to the game and back from the game safely so you can focus on the important stuff, watching your team stack those wins and making as many memories as possible. So call Hermes Worldwide today at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports to book your next ride today.
Whether it's kickoff, halftime, or the final drive,
Fuel your football season at Dickey's Barbecue Pits. Order the 2 Can Dine for $29.99 deal. 2 meat plates stacked with pit smoke flavor. Or go for the new Triple Play Combo. A classic sandwich, savory side, and a big yellow cup for just $12.99. No matter who you're rooting for, great barbecue is always a win. Dickey's Barbecue Pit, legit. Texas barbecue.
The cost of everything is still out of control, and many of us are relying on credit cards to cover essentials. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. Americans collectively owe over $1 trillion in credit card debt. You might have considered reaching out to my friends at American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. Well, there's good news. They've created a smart equity loan, a solution designed to help you take control of your finances without touching your current mortgage. Unlike a HELOC, which can have varied interest rates, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate. That means one predictable monthly payment, giving you peace of mind. This loan allows you to leverage the equity in your home to pay off high interest debt, free up your cash flow, and keep your existing low mortgage rate intact. It only takes 10 minutes to get started with no upfront or hidden fees. Call American Financing today and start saving now at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text STUDENT to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text STUDENT to 323232 right now. Text STUDENT to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's STUDENT to 323232. Text STUDENT to 323232 now.
Advent Health is Littleton's home for highly specialized, life-changing heart care. From preventive screenings to personalized treatment options, it's heartfelt care from expert hands. The Advent Health Heart and Vascular Institute is now open, ready to provide wholehearted care for your whole health.
Flanagan Law is different on purpose. Female-owned, client-focused, and community-driven. After your accident, we make sure you're cared for and compensated. Flanagan Law. Different feels better. Focus on healing. We'll take care of the rest.
Hey, bro. Weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan today at 720-405-3300. That's 720-405-3300.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Every great game comes down to one thing, the drive. And right now it's time to make yours count at Groove Toyota. Get into a new Toyota, a certified pre-owned Toyota, or shop our huge selection of used vehicles, all priced right and ready to move, with limited time offers in Colorado's best lineup of Tacomas, Tundras, SUVs, and more. Don't wait on the sidelines. These deals won't last. Make your move today at Groove Toyota on South Broadway in Inglewood, or start shopping now at GrooveToyota.com.
Football is back, and it's time for you to get in the game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is here to help, and we're giving away a PlayStation 5 bundle. Download the Denver Sports app and tap the contest banner on the homepage for your chance to win a PS5 console, a 70-inch flat-screen TV, plus copies of Madden 26 and College Football 26. Don't wait. Download the Denver Sports app now. 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
So we heard from Darren Rizzi a little earlier in the show. Want to hear from Vance Joseph here as well. But real quick, RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. If Phillip Lindsay wasn't here, he'd be happy for you guys if he went 4-0. Is that true or false, my friend?
If I wasn't here, I would be happy. I would be like, hey, it's my teammates. It's all about my team.
Team player.
There's no I in team now.
What if your teammate was Melvin Gordon?
I'm still going to be happy for him. As long as I get mine when I come back.
As long as you get your bag, too. We won't open up that can of worms. Vance Joseph, obviously defense had a tough game against the Colts as they go against a high-powered Chargers offense. VJ got asked just a couple hours ago at Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit, if this can be a statement game for this defense.
I'm not sure. You know, every week we play the games, win or loss, and we correct on Mondays. And we look back on what we did good, obviously. You know, we continue to move forward with that. And what we didn't do well, we fix. You know, I thought they had a good plan in the first half last week. I thought we adjusted well at halftime and kind of, bowed them up a little bit. We gave up the big run in the second half, and, they made more plays than we did in the past game. That's going to happen in this league from time to time, and no worries, big picture-wise.
So it says no worries big picture-wise, but you heard the very start of the answer, asked if it's a statement game. I'm not sure. Direct quote from VJ. I get it. He's not trying to provide the Chargers with any sort of bulletin board material, but if you went and had a latte with Vance Joseph, don't you think he would tell you, we need to bounce back in a big way on Sunday?
Most definitely. I mean, for VJ, being in that locker room and being in the meeting rooms with VJ, I know how he is when he loses. He's very serious. And when you're going up against the Chargers, who's a divisional opponent, it's even more important to get that win because they count as two. You're able to get a win against the Chargers, you have a better opportunity to win the division. So it's important for you in the defense because we know that this Broncos team is moving how the defense moves. So if the defense is doing well, we're going to have success this year. We're going to win 10, 11, 12 games. If the defense looks like it did on last Sunday, we may only win 9 games this year. Like, that's how important this defense is. So for VJ to go out there and say he's not sure, it's like, VJ, you can at least be honest and say this is so important for us to get things corrected because it's a division opponent. And, guys, the Chargers have already beat Kansas City. They just beat the Raiders. If they beat the Broncos, all right, they're number one in the division and already have a head start. If they beat us 2 times, they sweep us. So this is very important to go into SoFi Stadium and come out with a win. But you're only doing that if the defense is ready to play, if they can slow down Justin Herbert, if they can stop this run game. And for the Chargers, the run game has not been good enough. So let's keep it that way. So this is very important for VJ to get things corrected. It's very important for those players that are getting paid a lot of money. Zach Allen, Hufanga, Nick Bonito. They got to go out there and make plays. Players make plays and players win games. This has to be the case moving forward.
Yeah, and obviously the difference between both teams being 2-1 versus the Broncos being 1-2 and the Chargers being 3-0 is massive when it comes to pursuing an AFC West title. I heard you talk about with Zach kind of the bend but don't break defense that VJ coaches, and he was asked about the Colts settling for 4 field goals in the red zone.
That's always our goal, If you win red zone, it keeps the points to a minimum. That's our goal each week. But obviously, we got to fix what went wrong in that first half, and that, we can't duck that, and we won't duck that. And and we haven't. So we'll fix those things and move on and get better from it.
So again, glass half empty or half full. Half full, yeah, holding teams to field goals is great. Half empty, he didn't like the fact that the Colts had 20 points at halftime. That's just too many points for your opponent to have after 2 quarters.
Well, that means that the Colts were able to move the ball on you. That means that you're keeping your defense out there way too long. And when you're a team that bends but doesn't break, at some point you might break. And now all of a sudden you have Jonathan Taylor who goes for a 50, 55-yard run. That can't continue to happen. So in order to not let that happen, you have to have a couple 3-and-outs. You have to be stout up front and stopping the run. And then, of course, you rather have a team settle for field goals than a touchdown, because the team could do all that work for 2 drives and get 6 points out of it. You have someone like Bo Nix that makes an explosive play, that's 7 right there for you. So you're in good shape. So you definitely, if you're going to bend, you bend enough to where you stop them when they get in the red zone, you give up 3 points. I'm okay with that. But at some point, you got to get off the field so that you can get your offense can get in their rhythm. Just like for your defense, when your defense gets out there, you're looking for them to stop them right away. But they need to be rested so that they can do it, so that they can be communicating in the right way, so that they can be on their P's and Q's and flying around, because they do have that rest.
Vance Joseph also spoke about Pat Surtain. I promise we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. But coming up next, Tom Brady. Yes, that Tom Brady. He's always in the headlines. But Sean Payton, they just talked about Sean Payton on ESPN because of his reaction to Tom Brady being in the Raiders coach's booth. Does Sean have a problem with it? You'll hear about it next.
Follow us on X at DEN Sports 1043 for up-to-the-minute information and opinions on all things Denver sports. Also, we can still call it Twitter, right? Denver Sports 1043 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app.
What's going on, guys? Phillip Lindsay here, and I want to tell you about my new obsession. That's with Daisy's French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching any big-time game. And now that Daisy's has come out with a delicious Daisy French Onion Dip, along with a Daisy Ranch Dip, these are definitely game changers that you are not going to want to miss out on. They are as delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients that you can find in your own kitchen. So if you want to be blown away like I was, then you need to give Daisy's French Onion Dip a try today. You can find Daisy's French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today. Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Cake Mortgage Corp. Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1734623. Regulated by the Colorado Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply based on approved credit.
How is it that I make all this money and still can't buy a home?
That's because you went to an outdated lender. I went to Cake, and now I'm in my dream home.
Wait, how'd they pull that off? We're both self-employed.
They look at real income, like your bank deposits or certified profit and loss, not just your tax returns. Cake has flexible mortgage options made for people like us.
Okay, but what if I want to buy a rental property?
Even better, Cake has a program just for that. And it doesn't matter if your monthly rentals don't cover the mortgage. They can look at the potential of the property, not just the current rental income.
That's it. How do I reach these guys?
Their website is cakehome.com, but I called 888-EAT-CAKE.
Okay, got it. So it's 888-EAT-CAKE, right?
Yeah, call 888-EAT-CAKE for more details and learn why life's better with Cake.
When you're hurt in a car crash or on the job, Postman Law delivers. Don't just hope for help, demand results. Others promise. Postman delivers with ease, speed, and results. Call 844-POSTMAN today. That's 844-POSTMAN.
Brandon Stokel here from my team, ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Do you need a new furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump? ROX Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX rocks
Heating and Air.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens, the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Hey guys, boy Stink here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if you can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Come shop the largest selection of gorgeous loose diamonds. Every shape, every size, and price range diamonds.
Plus thousands of diamond settings from the world's top designers.
The Diamond Expo at Williams Jewelers. Save hundreds, even thousands. It's our biggest diamond event of the year.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Saturday night on The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams. CSU football faces UTSA with pregame starting at 6:30. Presented by Rock's Heating and Air.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at WistaraCU.com.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, so this Tom Brady thing is taking on a life of its own. Will Peterson in for Zach By. He'll be back tomorrow, hanging out with Phillip Lindsay. Before we get to the Brady thing, I want to remind you that because football season is here, it's time for you to get in the game. And lucky for you, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is here to help by giving away a PS5 bundle. All you have to do is download the Denver Sports app, click on the contest banner on that homepage for your chance to win a PS5, Madden 26, College Football 26, as well as a 70-inch TV. Are you kidding me? This is an unbelievable prize package. PS5, Madden 26, College Football 26, and a 70-inch TV.
Come on.
Phil, if I could win that, I can't because I work here. You can't because you work here. I would go download an app and click on a banner. Doesn't seem like a lot of work.
I wonder if I change my name and pretend like I'm somebody else. Win it.
Well, didn't the NFL ban you from the old wagering?
Yeah, I can't gamble right now. I can't gamble. And you know what they used to do? So every year, every player that's on the 53-man roster, they get tickets to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They get 2 tickets to the Super Bowl, but you know what happens with that is you sell them. All right, you sell them, you get a huge chunk of money. Sometimes you get $15,000, $20,000 each ticket, depending on where you're sitting.
Yeah.
And now it's like the older players get better seats. But they stopped doing that as well. Like they're cracking down on players selling their tickets. So you can't make money anywhere when you're dealing with the NFL anymore.
All right. Well, you can make money playing at least.
Yeah. You got to play it for a long time.
You got to play for a long time. So let's hear from Sean yesterday. I know you guys dove into the whole Saudi Arabia thing, and he's going to coach a flag football team over there, and he wants Brady to be his quarterback. But there was a second Brady question that came up because on Monday Night Football, the GOAT, and I don't like saying that as a Broncos fan, but it's true, the GOAT, Tom Brady, was sitting in the Raiders coaching booth. The problem is Tom Brady calls games on Fox. He's on the number 1 crew. You know, Mark Schlereth always has fun that he's on the number 6 crew. Well, he and Tom are co-workers. Just Mark gets the Giants and the Cardinals and the Panthers, and Tom gets the Cowboys. But still, how can you
that's
have
a blessing anyway? Like get to call games.
Oh, it's very cool.
Now, I don't know how they're feeling. Obviously, you don't want to be the Giants Cardinals game. You want to be the Broncos, whoever, the Broncos Chargers game.
No, but there's only a handful of those jobs, and Stink is so good at it, and I'm so glad he has it. And I'm not poking fun at Stink. I'm relaying Stink pokes fun at himself, which he shouldn't be, because you're right. It's a very cool job, and he's lucky to do it and travel the country and talk with all these coaches and players. Problem is, conflict of interest, Phil. Brady's traveling the country and talking to all these coaches and players, getting the inside trade secrets, and yet he's in the Raiders coaching booth on Monday Night Football. How does this not scream a problem? Here was Sean Payton getting asked about it because Brady's in his division.
Yeah, someone asked me, do I don't look at that as, it doesn't concern me. Meaning, I understand he's part ownership with a division opponent. I get that. And then he covers games. He covers NFC games. It doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother Sean. He covers NFC games. Well, hate to break it to you, Sean, the whole Fox's NFC, CBS's AFC, that changed a handful of years ago. The Broncos played on Fox against the Titans. Tom certainly wasn't on the call. They play on Fox a couple more times this year against Houston and Jacksonville. Just saying, Tom's probably not going to be on the call of those games unless the Texans and Broncos both get super hot here. But that said, what do you make of Sean's answer, Phil? It sounds like he's not trying to ruffle any feathers.
Yeah, I mean, Sean and Brady obviously have a pretty good relationship. Brady called Sean to do this flag football event. And so, yeah, he doesn't want to ruffle those feathers. I don't think that Sean would give Brady anything anyway if Brady comes walking into the facility to ask him questions, knowing that you're part owner of the Raiders or have some kind of share with the Raiders. And so I don't think Sean's making it a big deal until something happens where some things get leaked out and Tom's the one leaking it out to the Raiders and we end up getting beat because of it. Then Sean's going to be pissed off.
Let me tell you this real quick. Let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
I think it's a bad look for the NFL. I think it's a bad look. I understand he's the greatest quarterback ever.
So why is it a bad look?
Because he owns part of a team.
Yeah.
Yet he gets to go walk into, I don't know, the Chargers.
But he doesn't.
Yes, he does. If the Chargers are on Fox and Tom's on the call, he gets to go meet with Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert.
I didn't think that he could do that. I think that they have to welcome him in. Like he has to be. He has to ask, and if they say yes, then he's of course he's able to go into the facility, talk to the coaches, talk to the players. But if not, then he's not allowed to do that. Now, am I wrong, D?
No, I think you're right. It's a little murky because they came out with a statement after the game on Monday when they were getting a lot of criticism. But they came out with this, statement last year as well regarding that he wasn't involved in certain production meetings. But my understanding was that what Phil just said, he has to be welcomed in, and the team at that point can decide how much they want to share with him.
Okay. But what team is not going to welcome in Tom Brady? Because let's be honest, Tom Brady's bigger than this game in some senses.
Well,
you look like a real jerk as a coach if you don't welcome him in.
No, you don't. Because Tom should know, and you should know as a coach, that, hey, look, like if he's part owner of the Raiders and he has a ability to go and talk to some of these coaches and relay a message back to his staff, like that gives them the upper hand. And Brady is an intense guy that wants to win in everything. As a coach, you have to be smart with that. I would not accept Brady into the facility, into my building, knowing that I'm getting ready to play them, especially if you're Denver and you're a divisional opponent. Let's just say he's calling that game. Like, I'm not doing that. So, like if Brady wants to do it, like that's fine with him. He can call these games, but he's not coming into this facility.
Well, Ben Johnson said he'd welcome Brady into the facility, but he's not going to share, quote, trade secrets with him because, get this, the Bears and Raiders play in Week 4. Tom Brady's on the call. And here's an example. Even if you guys are right on the rules, and I think you are, Ben Johnson's on the record saying he can still come in. I'll still talk to him. So he was in the Raiders coaching booth 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now the Bears are playing the Raiders. You probably meet on what, Friday with the crew, maybe Saturday?
Yeah, Friday.
Why can't Tom on Saturday night call Pete Carroll and go, hey, this is everything Ben Johnson just told me?
Because Ben Johnson just told you that he's not going to tell him anything. So he's allowed in there. But
slip,
hey.
man. There's no cameras. It's casual. You're just BSing with a buddy.
So this is how it goes. You go in. It's either a Friday or a Saturday. If you're on the road, it's going to be a Saturday. They're going to ask you right when you get to the hotel, hey, Brady wants to talk with you guys. Are you okay with it? So, yeah, you say, yeah, of course. You go up there to a meeting room, and you sit down with Brady, and Brady's going to ask you a couple questions going into that game. They're not going to ask about the game plan. And if they do, that's none of their business. Now, if you want to give them the business, then you can do that. But a lot of times it's like, how are you feeling about this game? What are you thinking? What do you want to see from your offensive line? Things like that. So you can be short with Brady so that you don't give him a telltale sign of like what you guys really want to do in this game. But usually you do have this intimate conversation with, let's say it's Stink. Like, you're going to have that intimate conversation with him and give him more details so that he can do his job on air and have more details to tell the fans of what's going on in the building.
Sure, but here's the simple solution. Tom Brady should no longer call NFL games. Greg Olsen was really good at that job.
He was.
Just put him back on the number one crew and tell Tom, you got to make a choice. Either sell your stake in the Raiders and work for Fox, or leave Fox and continue owning part of the Raiders.
Well, but the issue becomes like we don't know the contract talk, and we don't know what they have to pay him if they let him go. Like, is it a situation where if they let him go, he gets all $300 million? Like, would you really want to let him go then?
No, but I think the league should get involved because, again, I think this is a major conflict of interest. I think it's a bad look for the NFL. I just do. I think they need to tell Tom, pick a lane. Either own a football team or call football games. You can't do both anymore.
I mean, they're not going to do it.
Because he's Tom?
Because he's the GOAT, yeah. I mean, it's attention, and until something comes out that Tom Brady really is telling all the secrets, nobody's going to touch Tom.
All right.
Whether you like it or not.
We'll keep an eye on it, but Sean Payton, again, clearly not wanting to step on the hot coals. He said all the right things yesterday at the podium. But coming up next, we'll talk about the Buffs in a trap game this weekend. Plus, what was that little skirmish between Sean Payton and Bo Nix? They both commented on it. We'll do both on the other side.
Should a new adjective be used to describe the Broncos' defense?
This defense that everybody was raving about all offseason. Oh, this could be the best defense in the NFL. This could be a historic defense. Let's retire that for a while. This defense is overrated. They got exposed as being overrated.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Zach. Winter's coming. Don't wait. Order windows or siding from 5280 Exteriors before the snow flies. 15-year low-interest financing with no prepayment penalty. Call now for your free quote and see how low your payment can go. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Do you want the lowest rate for life? Get our 4.75 5-year fixed. APR is 5.89.
Did you say 4.75% fixed for 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah, I want that, but what if rates fall?
Our lowest rate for life program takes over. If rates fall even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee and no limits to the number of times used. Only at U.S. Mortgages. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. It's football season, and did you know that I am the reigning fan staff champion in the King Supers Football Pick'em? Yep, Stokely, Schlereth, Zachby, Cecil Lemmy, none of them can hang with the judge when it comes to football. Just like those made-for-TV lawyers can't hang with me in the courtroom. When you've been hurt in a car accident, you want the real deal, which is what you get when you call 303 Law 4040. Not some made-for-TV character. When you call 303 Law 4040, you speak directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly, not some call center overseas. And you get to meet with us in person for free. We never take a dime unless we win for you. Plus, no ridiculous fees like those TV characters. You were the one that was hurt, so the doctors and the lawyers shouldn't take all the money. So go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040. 303 Law 4040.
Come shop Denver's biggest, most exciting diamond event of the year.
Because this week, get our lowest prices of the year on everything diamond at Williams Jewelers.
It's the Diamond Expo, September 23rd through 27th at both Williams Jewelers.
Come shop the largest selection of gorgeous loose diamonds. Every shape, every size, and price range diamonds, including Kwiat and Hearts on Fire. It's the Diamond Expo.
Plus thousands of diamond settings from the world's top designers, including Gabriel & Company, A. Jaffe, and Takori.
Everything diamond. Diamond earrings, rings, bracelets, and necklaces at the best prices of the year. It's the Diamond Expo.
Plus, with every purchase of $5,000 or more, you'll receive a pair of half-carat total weight natural diamond studs, a $950 value as our gift.
The Diamond Expo at Williams Jewelers. Save hundreds, even thousands. It's our biggest diamond event of the year.
And the diamond earrings are on us.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Where Colorado shines.
Select Health, how can we help?
Representative.
I'm ready to answer any questions you have.
Representative.
I'm Sam.
Representative.
It sounds like you said representative. One moment. Select Health, how can we help?
Finally. Hi, I have a question on copays.
I can help with that.
Real people, real answers in real time. Select Health, insurance made simple. Learn more at selecthealth.org.
Catch Telestrator Tuesday weekly on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, where Stink or Stoke dive into the past weekend's games with a coach's eye, using insights into what went right and wrong on critical plays. Telestrator Tuesdays, powered by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank.
Do you know what's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide? If you guessed Discover, you guessed right, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Tune into Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
So much reaction to the Tom Brady conversation on the RomboSled.com text line. 303-713-1043. It's Will Peterson in for Zach By. He'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, but there's so much reaction because you call Tom Brady the GOAT.
You know what? People aren't as mad about that. Although the 3853 says, please don't forget the fakest of all time. Ooh. So there are a handful of folks out there. I think there's a lot of debate on how much access Brady truly gets, whether or not it's in person or on Zoom. And are these coaches, just call it what it is, dumb enough to tell Tom Brady stuff that he's going to use against them and go spill to Pete Carroll? That's where the line is murky, and that's why my take is the NFL should probably get involved. But I think you made a really good point. They'd get involved with like 98% of people. They're not going to get involved with Tom Brady.
Oh, no. And then like you just said before, it's the coaches. Coaches' opportunity, whether they want to share their information or not. So, like, hey, you're a grown man. Do what you have to do. Be smart with what you say to somebody, and you move on from there. Look at you. It's the NFL. NFL should step in. No.
Well, they stepped in when he deflated footballs. Roger Goodell wasn't scared of him then.
That was when he was playing.
Yeah, it's true. Now he just wears a suit. Speaking of tomorrow, the 19th, the drive, Zach by Phillip Lindsay headed to Golden for a Bud Light Football Friday live from Buffalo Rose, 2 to 6 p.m. And get this, guys. Bud Light will be giving away a pair of tickets to Broncos and Bengals Monday Night Football, along with a pair of Bud Light VIP tailgate passes. You got to be 21 to enter, and Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the Denver Broncos. Phil, what a prize. I mean, I would love to come hang out with you guys on a Friday afternoon, maybe have a couple of pops, relax, enjoy it, get my weekend off to a good start. But the fact that you could win 2 tickets to Monday Night Football, that game's going to be electric, and it'll be the next time the Broncos are at Empower Field at Mile High.
You can't beat it. You get to make fun of Zach in person. You get to see a beautiful face in myself, the Phillip Lindsay, and then you get a chance to win tickets and then still have a couple drinks, enjoy yourself on a Friday. Come on now.
Can't beat it. Head up to Golden tomorrow, folks, and make sure you tell Zach Bye we went 4-0 in trivia without him. See how that goes over.
He's preying on our downfall as he's driving down. I wonder what those guys did today. Probably 0-4, huh?
Yeah.
No. 4-0, baby.
An 8-0 day on the station. Speaking of someone that needs to get a big win like we did an hour ago, it's Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, and the CU Buffs. They'll host the Wyoming Cowboys Saturday night, 8:15 kick. Ugh. I know the tailgaters like it. The rest of us don't. Listen, I'm all for like a 6 o'clock kick. That's great. You can go have lunch, go hang out with your friends, all that. But 8:15, I mean, you're not leaving that stadium until 11:30. You're sitting in traffic. Depending on where you live, you're home after midnight. That being said, I'm not going to just sit here and complain about 8:15 kicks. It's much more important, Phil, that the Buffs get a win. They desperately have to get this thing to 2-2.
They must get it to 2-2. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it now. It's not about, if you drop this one. It's Wyoming. This is your last out-of-conference game before things really get hard for you. You have to go into conference play 2-2 so that you have an opportunity to go to a bowl game this year, to win 6 games. You still can win 7 or 8. Now, do they do it? I don't know. It doesn't look like a team that wants to win 8 games this year. But if you can get this win, and you can, it's Wyoming, you get this win, you put yourself in a situation going 2-2 where everything's still out in front of you. But also, you win this game, it keeps your team together, Will. You drop the ball and get beat by Wyoming. Now this new team that's put together with a bunch of transfer portal players, they start to be in it for just themselves. It's not about the team anymore. The chemistry is not there yet because everybody is new. But if you drop that ball and now you're 1-3, come on, Will.
Well, I think people would be out on Pat Shurmur, which they already are, but they'd be even further out. I think the fan base would be pretty disgusted, somewhat checked out. I understand they've sold a ton of tickets and people are still going to go to games, but wouldn't have the excitement of last year watching Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter chase a Big 12 title game berth. And I'll just put it out there, and some folks were already tweeting it last week. The Coach Prime honeymoon would be flat out over. It'd be flat out over if they lose to Houston and Wyoming in back-to-back weeks, and they're 1-3. And oh, by the way, he's fought with the media about what an identity is on offense.
Yeah.
And he's fought with the media about what a solidified starter is at QB. Reports say he's going back to Caden Salter. The QB musical chairs continue. I think the honeymoon would be done if they lost to Wyoming.
The honeymoon for this year? or just in general?
I'm talking period. I'm talking Deion Sanders as the head coach of the CU Buffs.
No. You can't go off of just 1 year. All right, when you know.
Well, he went 4-8 in his first year,
No, for
so
sure,
I've
but
got enough
that's his
sample
first-
size.
No, his first year, 4-8, Will. All right, that's expected for a new coach. Now, not everybody's going to win 10 games their first year. Their second year, we were blessed to see a Heisman winner in Travis Hunter, to see a well-put-together team that was able to win 9 games, should have won 10. All right, and now this is Prime's first year without, 1, his son, and 2, having someone like Travis Hunter. So it's going to take time. Now, I will agree with you on the Shermer situation. I believe that this game against Wyoming, Prime and a bunch of people up top are evaluating Shermer and what he does. And if Shermer cannot get something going with Payton Salter, if Shermer cannot get a run game going and be a little bit more creative, then he may have to step aside. I'm not saying being fired, because you're gonna have to pay somebody out if you fire him. But maybe you force Shermer to step down or step aside, and then you let somebody else call the plays moving forward. But for Coach Prime with the honeymoon, like, that's going to be on for at least another year. Now, it's gonna run if it runs its course and it's not good enough, then we can come back and say that. But you can't say that after having a successful year last year, and then we're only in week 3, going into week 4, correct? Week 4.
This is
Wyoming.
week 4. This is their 4th game of the season.
So come on, Will.
All right, I don't think I'm on an island with this take. I think people are starting to wonder, was it Deion or was it just Shedeur and Travis? Was it just 2 great players? I mean, he retired their numbers. He knows they're great.
Yeah.
Was it just those 2 guys, or is Deion a football genius when it comes to coaching? We know he is when it comes to playing, but sometimes that doesn't translate to coaching.
Where are you at with things right now? How do you feel?
I feel like they need a win. I'm with you on that. Like, we can't putter around this. And I know Wyoming played Utah competitive for a half last week. Utah's up to 16 in the polls, by the way, and that was a 3-point game at halftime. Now, granted, it was 3-0, but their defense is solid. Their offense clearly has work to do. But, Phil, if we're all keeping our eyes open on Saturday night and it's 14-13 in the fourth quarter, no one's going to feel good about that. They're just not. And, therefore, I think the pressure's on Deion to start proving that, yes, he's a great recruiter. Yes, he's brought in a ton of money. I'm not here to slander Deion Sanders. I'm a Deion guy. I'm a Coach Prime guy.
Yeah.
But I'm also a results-oriented guy. And the results wouldn't be good enough losing a home game to a team you should probably beat by 25 to 30 points.
No, yeah, and that's why I said if you lose this game, you may lose the locker room, because you have a bunch of transfer portal kids that don't know each other just yet. Like, the difference between our 2016 team, our Buff team, we stuck by each other's side since day one, since we were freshmen and we all redshirted. We went through our ass whoopings, got beat by 40, got beat by 60, but we stayed with each other. We trusted each other. And then 2016 came rolling around. We were a little bit older. We were mature. We've been through a lot. We had a bunch of battle scars, but we had a bunch of hungry players that wanted to get to the NFL and believed that we had enough to do that. And we pushed each other during the offseason, and we pushed each other during the season. But when things got tough, we didn't run away, or we didn't hide it. We didn't blame anybody. We didn't blame the coaching staff. If something went wrong, we blamed each other and said, hey, look, we have to be better as a team. We have to be better with each other. Look within this group and go to work. That's something that I fear that the Buffs don't have. They don't have that chemistry down. They don't have that brotherhood down because they're not with each other long enough.
But, Phil, with all due respect, 2 points here. One, that was a different era of college football.
Yeah,
you talked about it. We were freshmen. We built together.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. Guys just transfer. They just hit the portal if things are going poorly. And 2, again, I say it with all due respect, but you guys didn't have the attention on you that this Colorado program has on now. You weren't on national TV every single week. They put them in Delaware on Fox. This game's on ESPN. Last week's game was on ESPN. Week 1 was on ESPN. There's way more attention on the program right now. Now, in 2016, you guys earned that attention.
Yeah.
But those bad years, Colorado football wasn't top of mind.
Not good.
And with Deion, he brings a lot of it on himself. Like, if you're going to fight with the media constantly, let me read you a tweet from Zach Bye on Friday night after they lost to Houston.
Yeah.
This is from Zach. Deion Sanders brought both QB1 and QB2 to Big 12 media days because he didn't know who would start. Week 1, he scoffed at the media for doubting Salter would start. Week 2, Juju's going to play. Ultimately, it was Ryan Staub. Week 3, Staub starting and not coming out. Okay. Zach concludes this tweet, quote, "Holy smokes, what a disaster." Zach's calling this a disaster.
Zach is also a dramatic guy.
You don't think it's a disaster?
No, it's not good. It's never good when you have 3 quarterbacks and you don't know who to pick. That's why we're going back with Payton Salter. But also, we can't sit here, and I'm not going to sit here yet and be like, hey, throw in the towel, it's over. Now, there may become a point where Colorado is not doing well, and it's like, hey, we have to face the facts. It's just not good. But you're going into week 4. You have a chance to beat Wyoming and go 2-2. Find a way to get on the same page. Find a way to find that identity. I know that Prime said, well, what's an identity, or he doesn't believe in identity. Bull crap. Everybody believes in some type of identity. Everybody identifies as something. So why wouldn't that be the case for a football team? And then, yes, you want to have a solidified quarterback that you can rely on every single game. You may not win every single game, but you know when you wake up in the morning that that's going to be your guy no matter what, unless he gets hurt. So if they can do that and they can just stick with Payton Salter, who, by the way, he hasn't had horrible games. He hasn't thrown a pick yet. He has 2 touchdowns on the ground and 1 in the air. Is he the greatest quarterback? No. But is he a leader that I've heard in the building? Yes, I heard he's a vocal leader that understands this scheme. But now Pat Shurmur, offensive coordinator, has to do things that helps this young man out and helps this offense out. And also, Robert Livingston, the defensive coordinator, he's going to have to do his part. Stop the bleeding, stop teams from running on him, and be a little bit more stout.
Well, and that's one more thing you and I disagree on. I would just hand the keys to Juju.
Why?
At this point in time.
Why?
Because he's your future. Got a whole bunch of stars next to his name. He picked Colorado over other big-time offers. This is the kid that's going to be your quarterback next year, probably the year after that, and then we'll see what happens. Why tick him off? Why bury him on the depth chart? Why bury him on the bench? In this day and age, if everyone leaves, why are you going to make the 5-star leave and have to go do it all over again? You just need to play him. Salter ain't the guy. Staub ain't the guy. The season doesn't look like it's going to be very good.
There will be a time.
Find out what you have in Juju.
There will be a time. And I said that if things are not going right for the Buffs, that's when you put your future in there. But if he is not ready, all you're going to do is shoot down his confidence even more. He's young. He's still a baby. He will have his time. But also, Will, put yourself in one of these other kids' shoes. You come to the University of Colorado because you're expected to win. You're expecting it to look like it did last year. And you come in here, and then all of a sudden, you see someone like Prime put Juju in a situation to be a starter. What is that telling everybody around him? That they don't believe that they're going to win games. And that's why they're going with the future. You can't do that to the other 50 guys in the building right now. That's something you do towards the end of the year.
All right, well, it'll be fascinating to watch. We do agree on one thing. The Buffs need to win.
Yeah, they must win.
They desperately need a victory against the Cowboys.
See, you must win.
I love it. This is KKFN and KKFN HD1, Longmont, Denver. Yes, you are locked into the drive. It's Will Peterson in for Zach By. Phillip Lindsay hanging out on a Thursday as your weekend gets closer. You've got football tonight. You've got college football tomorrow, college all day Saturday, and then a full NFL slate on Sunday with the Broncos at SoFi Stadium facing the Chargers. Want to get into the skirmish between Bo Nix and Sean Payton, a little fiery, passionate, whatever adjective you want to use to describe what happened. We obviously saw that last year against the Raiders. We saw it with Sean and Russell Wilson in Detroit. And we saw some words being exchanged in Indy this past week. But real quick, we haven't talked about this yet today. What's your percentage on orange in SoFi Stadium on Sunday? Because we know anytime the Broncos go to L.A. or anytime they go to Vegas, Broncos country will travel.
I mean, it's going to be a lie. It's going to be, let's go 60-40. 60%.
60 orange?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, with a 2-0 Chargers team?
Oh, yes.
And a bunch of bandwagon people in L.A.?
Hey, what do you think it's going to be?
I like your 60-40. I just flip it. I'd say 60% Chargers fans, 40% Broncos.
And maybe because Chargers are doing well, and it's a newer stadium, but they're going into is it year 4 for them with this new stadium? Year 3 or 4?
Yeah, SoFi is probably 4 years old. I would guess.
4.
Yeah.
So maybe they can start establishing some kind of fan base. But I mean, this is Bronco country. they're crazy. They're going to go to these games. They're going to cheer on their team. They're going to make sure that they make it hard, even for the home team. I remember playing in Arizona and looking up in the stands and saying, wow, there's more Bronco fans than Cardinals fans. So this is something that I'm going to say 60-40 still, 60 Denver Broncos, 40 Charger fans.
I would love it if that's the case. By the way, SoFi opened September 8th, 2020, so this is season 5 of the NFL being there. But don't forget, they share it with the Rams, and the Rams have won a Super Bowl since that stadium opened. They won it in that stadium, coincidentally enough. I think L.A. is a bandwagon town. I know I said that kind of jokingly, but I'm kind of serious. Just look at USC and UCLA football attendance. I think more folks out there are Rams fans than Chargers fans, and I do think it's a conversation every year worth having, that you got to take advantage, because guess what? When you go to Arrowhead, there ain't going to be a lot of orange. That's just not going to happen. It's almost a borderline neutral site game, which, of course, advantage Broncos, because usually when you get on a plane, you're the team playing on the road, and this one's going to feel more like a coin flip if we meet in the middle in terms of fan support there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's something that when you're going against a team that has big-time fans, it's like control the crowd noise. That's one of the things that they tell you to do to have to get a win on the road, to get a victory on the road. Control the fans. Control how loud that they can get, how rowdy they can get, and how do you do that? Usually you score a bunch of touchdowns and you make an offense go 3 and out. In this case, where it's going to kind of be like 50-50 or 60-40, you score some touchdowns, it's going to get ballistic in there. Everybody's going to be rowdy. They're going to be excited. But also, defensively, that you can use that to your advantage where you want your fans to be loud. And although it's on the road, you're going to have a bunch of Broncos country in there. It can get loud, and now Justin Herbert, it's hard for him to hear the play, or maybe he even has to go silent count in a home game for himself. Crazy.
That would be great, no doubt about it. All right, so we saw it late third quarter. CBS broadcast had it. Bo Nix, Sean Payton, another little skirmish. If you're keeping track at home, this is 2 in 2 years. Third for Sean Payton in 3 years with him and his quarterback. Now, of course, in Detroit, Russell Wilson just sat there and took it. He didn't give it back to Sean at all. Bo, on the other hand, he had no problem mouthing off to Sean. I think we got the famous Ferris Bueller quote last year. This quarterback's got a little Ferris Bueller in him talking about Bo Nix, but those are a lot easier after wins. This was in a loss, and just to refresh everyone's memory, here's what Sean Payton had to say about that sideline exchange.
I saw what you guys saw, is that common? No, that wasn't what it appeared though. It was an affirmation of this is what we're wanting to do. So sometimes, because I was looking at it and trying to think, did we ever? And I don't recall. I think it was more about excitement, and it was, but I saw it, and so it was following I think a series where we ran it pretty well, and I don't recall it ever being. I would know if there was ever one of those moments, but I guess what I'm saying is I don't think it was what it appeared.
Okay. It was more about excitement. Well, it actually wasn't about excitement because Bo and Evan Ingram didn't hook up on third down, and the Broncos had to give the ball back. And then I love I saw it. What do you mean you saw it, Sean? You were in it. Like, you didn't see it. You were a part of it.
I mean, somebody probably sent him a clip.
I know, but
hey, this doesn't look good.
If you and I started fighting right now, I wouldn't need to go watch our YouTube to see what happened. I lived it.
Well, see, but that's the thing. That's if we're fighting, But maybe for him, it's like we weren't necessarily fighting. I was asking a question. Bo Nix is a passionate guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Sometimes he needs to relax and calm down. Sean's probably asking him, hey, like, what did you see on that one? Or why did you throw, I want to say maybe it was to Cortland. Why did you throw that fade route to Cortland and not hit Troy Franklin down the middle of the field? Right? Maybe it was something like that. And Bo, instead of just saying, hey, I didn't see that, and I was focused on this, on the read, he gets uppity because, hey, you're in the battle. You're in the heat of the moment. You're frustrated that you went 3 and out or you didn't convert on that third down. Will?
I like uppity. Good word. Good word. Bo gets a little uppity. That kind of describes him through 2 weeks.
Did I do a good job of saying that the right way?
Well, you did, but let's hear from both parties involved because we heard Sean's side of things. This has not been played on this show yet because we just heard it late yesterday afternoon from Bo Nix. He says maybe we're looking too much into it.
Well, I think for whatever reason, we're allowing conversations to become bigger than what they are. we oftentimes forget that it's a big stadium and a lot of people are talking at the same time, so you got to be a little bit louder and more vocal. So that was just something as simple as he asked me what happened on a play. I told him. I turned. He couldn't quite hear. Turned back and told him again. There was no issue. So, it's just a quick conversation with the head coach. Nothing pressing.
Oh, I love it from Bo, because remember last year his answer was, I told Sean I love him. He told me he loved me too, and that was that. And people knew he was joking because it was more heated. But his rationale this time around is we're making it bigger than what it was. The stadium's loud, and it was just a conversation. I'll make this very simple. Do you believe Bo Nix or not?
Yeah, I do. I do on this one.
Okay.
There is no reason. It wasn't like the last time where Bo changed the play. Like, Sean was just asking him, my guessing is, like, what did he see? And Bo, still being in that moment, said, like, using his hands, because he likes to use his hands. I like to use my hands too, and explaining it. But I think we are making it bigger than what it is. I remember there was a game we're playing Kansas City, 2018, and I was the type of guy, like, I got fiery. And, like, when we would have 3 and outs, I would be pissed off, and people would hear me. And it was a 3 and out, and I'm walking off the field, and I see a Gatorade bottle.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to kick the hell out of this Gatorade bottle. You know, that's how mad I was.
Yeah.
So it was either kick the bench or kick the Gatorade bottle. I didn't want to break my toe. So I kicked the Gatorade bottle. Well, the Gatorade bottle opens up and hits Bill Musgrave, our offensive coordinator, right in the head.
Bill in the head?
In the head.
Woo.
I'm telling you, I wish you go back and watch film. I kick him in the head with this Gatorade bottle.
Okay.
So now, like, he looks at me. I can't change my expression right now. I have to still look mad. In the back of my head, I'm like, oh, damn, I'm getting fired. So, you know, my run back coach, Curtis Mockins, he comes up to me and says, hey, man, you got to control yourself. Control your anger. Control all what's going on in there. Like, this is a long football game. And granted, I was young. And I wanted to win so bad, and the Chiefs always whipped up on us. But yeah, man, I thought I was gonna get fired. I ended up apologizing to old Bill, and he was fine with it. But yeah, I kicked him right in the head with the Gatorade bottle, man.
Well, and I got a Gatorade bottle right here. I mean,
keep that away from me.
If you kick this thing with enough velocity, this is gonna hurt.
But it was green. It was the long green bottle.
Oh, okay. So
that hurts even more.
Yeah, it was the one that, you know, you always see the trainers squirting it in guys' mouths during a little TV timeout or whatever. You thirsty? You need some?
Yeah.
Did Billy Moose say anything to you?
You know, we talked about it. He said, you definitely can't do that. You know, and you almost gave me a concussion. But he also knew that, like, hey, I'm a passionate guy. I really am. Like, that's why I love Bo, because Bo is passionate. He wants to win so bad. He wants to have so much success, and sometimes you can press so much that you don't end up winning. You don't end up having that success. So I know how he feels, but also I know how it is to be in that locker room. And Will, there's a lot of times, man, when you're in halftime and you're yelling back and forth, cussing at each other or cussing at a coach because you don't agree. And that's just how it goes. But it can't bleed into the game and become a distraction.
Well, and there are cameras everywhere during the game, at least in the locker room.
Yeah.
That's your 12 minutes of privacy or whatever, where you can get out what you need to get out, and you're not worried about Trent Green and Kevin Harlan breaking it down for 30 seconds like what happened this past Sunday. I'm with you. I believe Bo, too, to an extent.
Uh-oh.
I think Bo's answer there was the right one, because he can't make it bigger than it was. But that, to me, felt like a QB saying, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. I'm a little more in the middle. I'm not saying this is derailing the season or the biggest deal ever, but I'm also not going with nothing to see here. I think there was a little something to see here.
Are you okay
and again,
with
this is now 2 times in 19 games, or 20 games, I guess, if you count the playoffs, that something like this has happened between Bo and Sean.
But is it concerning?
Yes, because I was concerned about Bo not being able to control his emotions in week 1. I thought he was a little too demonstrative against the Titans. I thought he was playing tight, trying to play perfect. And for as much as I love Bo, and I think he's the franchise quarterback, and I think he's going to be here a decade, Sean's done this a heck of a lot longer than Bo. I get it. Bo's pretty darn high on the totem pole down there. He is. But he's not higher than the head coach. And at some point in time...
That's not screaming like you're higher than the head coach.
But are they equals?
No, but when
I don't think they're equals either.
Why? That's your franchise quarterback. Like, you have to see eye to eye with each other, because you have to trust what Sean's doing, and Sean has to trust what you're doing. And at some point, you're hoping that Bo Nix is the franchise quarterback and can just take over. And so now you have a Drew Brees, Sean Payton situation again here in Denver.
But he's also a franchise quarterback. I'm putting that in air quotes.
Yeah.
That's 11-9 in his NFL career.
For sure. He has
I mean,
to prove
Drew
himself.
Brees was a little better than 11-9. It's borderline 500.
It takes time.
I
Even
get
when
it.
Drew Brees got there, it took time to build that trust, build the trust within the system, and build that trust with each other. Like, you're always working on a relationship, right? The minute that you stop working on a relationship, it's gonna go to poop, right? You're not gonna be as good. That's why you're always communicating. You're gonna be frustrated with each other at times. That's the exact same thing when it comes to a coach and a quarterback. You guys need to be on the same page, but there's gonna be some times where you're disagreeing with each other. And it's healthy to argue. Now, you don't want to do it on TV. You rather do it behind closed doors during a meeting. But the heat of the moment, okay, you're already upset, and then you have Sean coming to you already questioning why you threw that ball. You're going to be a little uppity, like I said.
Okay. I just think that Bo is at the point of his career that if a coach barks at him, he doesn't always have to bark back. Like,
And there's moments like, yeah.
One of
there's
these
time and
times,
place.
I'd rather just Sean says his piece to Bo and Bo just walks away.
Well, then you're going to be sitting here saying like you did to Russ, or he just took it.
Wow, that was like 45 seconds berating. That crossed the line. I think Sean wanted to tell Bo one sentence, and Sean could have just let Bo walk to the bench. Bo could have just walked to the bench, and instead, because he's Bo and he's got an ego, he had to turn back and give it right back to the head coach.
He has an ego.
He does have an ego.
Where, like Bo, how does Bo have an ego? Please explain that.
Just look at his behavior through the first 2 weeks at certain points.
It's
I mean, what he did to Lucas
frustrating.
Kroll, didn't that kind of show him up a little bit?
No, because Peyton would do the same thing.
He's
Peyton would do
Peyton
that.
Manning.
Okay, but how do you become Peyton Manning? You have to do certain things. If you want something done, you're telling them. And if it doesn't get done, you have to be frustrated. You have to let people know that that's unacceptable. That's why Peyton was so great. You were scared to make a mistake.
Because he won MVPs and he won a Super Bowl.
Why was that, though? Because it wasn't just like he waited until he won MVPs to be Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning has always been Peyton Manning. Before he started winning those Super Bowls, that's how he got to the Super Bowls. So if you want Bo to be this franchise quarterback and win us a Super Bowl, then he has to have a little edge to him, Will. He has to command and demand. If something needs to be ran a certain way, then run it that damn certain way.
All right. I don't think we're going to find a common ground on this one, but I just think the whole nothing to see here thing, I think there was a little something to see here. Phil, we've gotten the injury report, okay? Within the last hour, we told folks we'd pass it along, and it's more bad news. We talked about this a little bit in the 2 o'clock hour when the beat reporters were allowed to tweet who was out there and who wasn't, but a couple of things that I don't love passing along have been confirmed. Dre Greenlaw, second day in a row, did not practice with a quad. Evan Ingram, second day in a row, did not practice with a back. And this is now a second injury for Ingram. Greenlaw, other than limited last Friday, has not practiced all season. What do you make of the fact that, again, you and Zach tomorrow, while you're live on air, will get official game designations, but very much so trending in the direction of two of your three high-profile free agent signings are not going to be available for a huge AFC West showdown.
I mean, this was our concern from the start. Like, we were able to get a lot of these free agents that are really, really good when they're healthy for good deals, right? Cheaper deals. Why? Because of their injury history. And so far for Dre Greenlaw, and we expect Dre Greenlaw to be out this game and maybe next. So it's no surprise, but it's still concerning. It's still frustrating because you are paying a lot of money for this man to be on that football field making big-time plays for us. And when your inside linebackers are struggling like they are, Alex Singleton and Justin Sternad did not have a good game against stopping the pass and stopping Tyler Warren, the tight end, the young rookie tight end with the Colts. You want Dre Greenlaw back in there because of his presence. He's a run-heavy type of guy, or stopping the run type of linebacker, but also very smart, and he communicates all the time. I was excited and hoping to see Alex Singleton and Dre Greenlaw together and see what that looks like. And right now, that's not the case. And so for someone like Dre Greenlaw, he hasn't been available during OTAs. He hasn't been available during camp, during the preseason games, and now it's bled into the regular season. And we're getting ready to go into week 3. He's not going to be available. And my guessing is week 4. So that's something that's like, damn, I want to see him out there making plays. This is why we thought that this defense could be number 1. And until he gets out there, maybe this defense won't be, because it's a glaring hole with these inside linebackers. Now for Evan Ingram, that's another one where it's like you're the Joker. you're the Joker. So I don't understand what's going on when it comes to Evan Ingram not being able to stay healthy after 3 weeks. So I don't know, man. With Evan Ingram, it was first the calf, it was the back. Hopefully he's out there this Sunday. But when you're not out there on a Thursday and it's pass heavy day, you're concerned, because if he's not on Thursday, my guessing is he's not out there on a Friday, and if he's not out there on a Friday, then he will not play.
Yeah, and it's way, way, way too early to call the Dre Greenlaw signing a bust. It's only been 3 weeks. You and I both agree they should have put him on short-term IR, because you just burned a roster spot, especially if he doesn't play week 4 against Cincinnati. Literally the whole point of short-term IR is you miss 4 weeks and someone else gets to take the 53-man roster spot. I think a misstep by Sean Payton and George Payton. So I'm not going to call Greenlaw a bust. Of course not. But I will say, and I'm curious your thoughts on this, has it been a disappointing signing at this point in time?
Very disappointing. I will say that. I'm not going with the bust just yet, because I do know that he's a really, really good player. I played against him, a tackling machine, very smart. But I'm disappointed because I thought that coming here to Denver with Bo Lowry being the strength coach and how well Denver has been able to keep their players healthy, that Dre Greenlaw was going to be thriving at this point. And now, like as of right now, we don't know when he's coming back. If he's coming back, we don't know how severe this injury truly is.
No, we don't. And Sean doesn't talk about injuries anymore, right? And I think yesterday he used the word nebulous, which, welcome back to high school. What's nebulous mean? Go look it up in your vocab.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know? Because I definitely don't.
I think it's kind of hazy. It means, so I think what he's saying is that the injury's just kind of unclear. That maybe he wakes up some days, feels good, wakes up other days, feels bad. But at this point in time, you can't bank on Greenlaw or Ingram playing against the Chargers, and we've outlined it. The difference between 1-2, while LA is a 3-0, and the difference between 2-1 and they're 2-1, it's huge. It's a 2-game swing, and no one's winning or losing the AFC West this weekend. No one's making those type of grand declarations. But if you win, you're feeling pretty good about your position, especially with the Chiefs being 0-2, probably 1-2 after they beat the Giants on Sunday Night Football, but you're still feeling good through 3 weeks. If you lose, that's a steep hill to climb, Phil. It just is.
Well, think about this. For the Chargers Chargers have already beaten the Chiefs. They've beaten the Raiders. If they beat the Broncos, they're 3-0 in the division already. Now everybody's playing catch-up. You don't want to be in a situation where you're playing catch-up and you're hoping that the Chargers drop a couple AFC games. Mm-hmm. For Denver, the easiest thing to do is to go out there, play your butt off, and come out with a win. 60-40, 60% Broncos country is going to be there. Go out there, get a win, kind of get back to the basics, and now you're 2-1, feeling better about yourselves.
Can I give you some good news on this injury report?
Please.
So Justin Strnad missed yesterday with a foot. He was upgraded to limited today. So he was at least back at practice in some capacity. I'm not sitting here telling people that Justin Strnad tore it up against the Colts. I know he and Alex Singleton both had tough days, but at some point you're just going to run out of bodies. So it is good that Strnad is at least trending in a positive direction to play. And then Talanoa Hufanga popped up yesterday with a chest, and he was limited, so that worries you, but also it doesn't set off alarm bells because at least he got some work in. He was upgraded to full today. So Hufanga's going to play on Sunday. Strnad absolutely moving in the right direction. Probably won't see Ingram and Greenlaw. Other than that, PS2's not on here. Benito was full. Nate Atkins was full. We expect him to make his debut. And Alex Singleton was full with that broken thumb. So you're probably just going to miss 2 guys, but those 2 guys were high-profile free agent signings. You're kind of laughing about the Strnad thing, but I do think it's a big deal that he...
Who's laughing?
You kind of had a smile on your face. I think you think I don't like Strnad, which... I'm neutral on Strnad.
You said it was good news, and I said, yeah, it is good news, but you said it's good news because it's a body. Like, okay.
They don't have a lot of bodies at that position.
No, they don't. But also we need true ball players that we know are going to make big differences. So it is good news because Justin Strnad had a really good game week 1. Week 2, he struggled. Can he bounce back? I mean, he's going to have to be the man until Dre Greenlaw decides to show up.
Would you tinker with that? Like, would you just give Lavelle Bailey the starting job? Just elevate him from the practice squad and say, hey, you balled out for us in the preseason. We liked you in camp. go out there and prove it.
Well, I'm definitely
I think it's
elevating.
time to make a change at that position is what I'm getting at.
Well, it definitely is going to be time to make a change if Justin Sternad goes out there and he struggles against the Chargers. But even for LaVelle Bailey, he should be elevated anyway, just in case something happens to Justin Sternad, who's already dealing with some type of injury, or Alex Singleton, who's dealing with a thumb injury again. LaVelle Bailey had a great camp, a great preseason. You might as well put him out there, let him get some work with the special teams group, but also be ready to play if he's asked to go out there and play as an inside linebacker.
All right, the locker room was open this afternoon. Our own Andrew Mason was in there. We had a little fun with J.K. Dobbins earlier, talking about, is he cocky? Is he confident? What is he? Well, J.K. Dobbins found a microphone today before he plays his old team. You want to hear what the running back has to say next.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. 8+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
CU fans, keep your fix going with Denver Sports CU Football Post-Game Recap. Available every home game exclusively on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Presented by Corwin Toyota Boulder. Family driven for over 100 years.
The cost of everything is still out of control, and many of us are relying on credit cards to cover essentials. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. Americans collectively owe over $1 trillion in credit card debt. You might have considered reaching out to my friends at American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. Well, there's good news. They've created a smart equity loan, a solution designed to help you take control of your finances without touching your current mortgage. Unlike a HELOC, which can have varied interest rates, the smart equity loan offers a fixed rate. That means one predictable monthly payment, giving you peace of mind. This loan allows you to leverage the equity in your home to pay off high interest debt, free up your cash flow, and keep your existing low mortgage rate intact. It only takes 10 minutes to get started with no upfront or hidden fees. Call American Financing today and start saving now at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At 303 Law 4040, we know getting into an accident stinks, and so does getting worked over by the insurance company or even your slick-talking made-for-TV lawyer. So if we can help, just give us a call. 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
Haven't filed taxes in 3 or more years? You're not alone, and you're not out of options. Join Todd from Advanced Tax Solutions
registrations for a free workshop on Tuesday, September 30th at 6 p.m. Get answers to all the big questions. Can you still get a refund? What if the IRS filed for you? How far back do you need to file? And what happens if you've moved and don't even know the IRS is coming after you? Don't wait for a wage garnishment to find out where you stand. Call 303-753-6040 to sign up for this free workshop.
Most people don't think about their garage door until it stops working. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. There's never a good time for your garage door to break, whether you're rushing to work or you're trying to get the kids to school. We know how much you rely on your garage door. That's why we offer same-day repairs, because life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage door is what we do, but making your life easier and your home safer is why we do it. Families trust us because we deliver, and we'd be honored to earn your trust too. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
Come shop Denver's biggest, most exciting diamond event of the year.
Everything diamond. Diamond earrings, rings, bracelets, and necklaces at the best prices of the year.
The Diamond Expo at Williams Jewelers. Save hundreds, even thousands. It's our biggest diamond event of the year.
Marketing can feel overwhelming. Where to start? What works? What doesn't? That's where your marketing experts at DenverSports come in. Audio, video, online marketing, and we know how to cut through the noise so your customers finally hear your story. You don't have to waste time guessing or spinning your wheels. We'll guide you with a proven plan that turns your marketing into growth. Let us handle the hard part. You do the easy part. Head over to DenverSports.com and click Advertise with us and start growing your business today.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Saturday night on The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams. CSU football faces UTSA with pregame starting at 6:30. Presented by Rock's Heating and Air.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at WistaraCU.com.
It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Will Peterson in for Zach By. Zach will be back tomorrow. Excited to listen to him and Phil from Buffalo Rose in Golden, 2 to 6. And Bud Light will be giving away a pair of tickets to Broncos Bengals on Monday Night Football. So definitely go check that out. Say hello to the fellas. Oh, baby. Text line does not like my Bo Nix takes. All I said, Phil, was that I think every once in a while, Bo should just let Sean have the last word. And it does feel to me like sometimes Bo wants the last word. And I respect that stubbornness and competitiveness.
You're stubborn.
Sure.
You're not willing to accept defeat. You find ways to find ways out of it. I don't know how you do it, but you do it sometimes.
But should every little exchange turn into something bigger?
No. And it's something that as time goes on for Sean to say, hey, look, Bo, relax. Sometimes I'm asking you a question. I'm not asking you it because you're wrong. I just want to know what you're seeing out there so that we can make some changes on the fly or during halftime. And so for Bo, he has to learn to relax. He has to learn to, don't let this drive affect you. It's a long game. 60 minutes of football, you are going to make a lot of mistakes. And it's okay to let Sean have the last word. He is the head coach. I do agree with you on that. But that's something that he will learn over time. And that's something that if Sean doesn't like, he will address behind closed doors and say, hey, look, we got to stop doing this. That's something that will probably be addressed if this continues to happen.
All right. Well, we can't read every text on air, but I promise you I read them all during the breaks and appreciate the interaction, even if some of them were not the kindest. There were some that were kind. Let's get to the running game, Phil, because J.K. Dobbins, could this be a revenge game against the L.A. Chargers? Andrew Mason was in the locker room today where J.K. Dobbins was talking, and Broncos RB1 had some interesting answers about his former team.
We just didn't see eye to eye, and, business is business. They did what they had to do. I did what I had to do. And so, yeah, I wouldn't say they absolutely wanted me, but we just didn't see eye to eye business-wise. So that's where that's at. Like, no, they didn't. No. Yeah.
Is that salary or pretty much? Or,
yeah, I mean, something like that.
Okay.
This is why I love JK, man. He is a walking, talking soundbite. He did it during training camp. He said something about the Chargers. I tweeted it out. It got 500,000 views, and all these Chargers fans I didn't know that existed were upset. Today, the line is, we didn't see eye to eye. It was business. He does note that the Chargers wanted him back. Not so sure, considering they signed Najee Harris and drafted Omarion Hampton. But your reaction to that soundbite, and also, is this a revenge game? Do those exist, if you will, in the NFL?
I mean, truly, it's not personal. It is just business. But you end up making it personal if you're a player, because you feel like, hey, why are you not giving me the money that I deserve? For someone like JK, he went for over 900 yards and missed 4 games. If JK would have played in 4 more games, JK would have had over 1,000 yards rushing. And so he probably wanted some money. And for the Chargers were probably not willing to give him that money, obviously. They did tender him. Now, that's what people are forgetting, that they did tender, and they were trying to hold on to JK, in which if it hurt him, because now the first wave of free agency went by, and JK's tied to the Chargers, but the Chargers didn't get something done with him. So that's why it took so long for JK to get on a team. Now, for JK, he is going to take this personal. Like, I guarantee he's going to take this personal. Like, if somebody doesn't want you, if the fan doesn't want you, you're going to feel some type of way.
Oh, I got fired by a different radio station in this town like 8 years ago, and I still think about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so if you played against them, you want to make sure that they eat their words. That's the exact same thing in the way I felt when I moved on from Denver, or they moved on from me, and I ended up going to the Colts at the end of my career, and I got to come back here. And it was like, I want to have the best game ever to show this coaching staff that you guys made a mistake, and so it would have been a surreal moment to have, although it wasn't like that. Now, I did play, had a couple good runs, but I didn't get to score a touchdown, and we did win the ugly game.
Oh, the quote-unquote worst game ever.
That
Thursday Night Football disaster. I still remember KJ Hamler just chucking his helmet when Russ missed him wide open.
Yeah, so you are going to feel some type of way because you're a player, and players, all they care about is what you're doing on that football field and being rewarded for what you're doing on that football field.
And J.K. Dobbins is rich in the real world, but he's not rich in the NFL world. You're right about that. He signed a 1-year, $2.06 million deal with the Broncos, so just a little more than $2 million. Again, we'd all love to have $2 million. That's a ton of money. But for an NFL running back who, when he's been healthy, has been ultra productive, that's not the kind of money you would expect. Yeah. So not only does he want to stick it to the Chargers that they, quote unquote, moved on, but also stick it to the Chargers for, like you said, the whole tender situation. That may have cost JK millions of dollars, because he could have signed somewhere in March if they hadn't done that.
And you said like $2 million, which is a lot of money. Everybody, all of us want to have $2 million, but also it's he can make up to $5 million in incentives, which means like he may have to rush for 1,000 yards. Maybe it's 12 touchdowns. Maybe it's, hey, you have to be healthy for 15 games. Whatever the case may be, he's going to have to work even harder if he wants to get all the money that the Denver Broncos are willing to give him.
And I told you earlier in the show, I want to see J.K. Dobbins get 20 carries. And that doesn't mean I'm out on R.J. Harvey by any stretch, but the combination of the revenge game and the combination of J.K.'s looked very good through 2 weeks for the Broncos, scored one of their 2 touchdowns against the Titans, had a touchdown last week against the Colts. But you sort of balked at that in the sense of, not that you're not okay with it, you would love it, you just don't think Sean Payton's going to do it.
No, until Sean does it, like, I'm not going to believe it. I do believe, and I agree with you, like, if we're going to win this game, you're going to have to run the ball. You're going to have to establish the run, find a way to make it third and manageable, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. All right, control the clock. Have that physical aspect to your game where it's like, hey, we are willing to punch you in the mouth. That's what I'm looking for the Denver Broncos. If you're going to beat the Chargers, you have to stay on the field as an offense, of course, score points, and not just 3 points, touchdowns, but also keep Justin Herbert on the bench. Make it hard for Justin Herbert to get in a rhythm. And in order to do that, you got to count on your run game because your run game will open up your pass. The identity of this team so far is the running backs and the offensive line. Now, for Sean, he needs to obey his eyes and obey that and go with it because it's going to set up the pass. It's going to set up the play action, and now you're going to have more explosive plays from Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram if he plays, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant. They'll have opportunities. Marvin Mims for another bomb for a 24-yard touchdown like he did against the Colts. That comes over time. So lean on your run game, lean on JK, and even give RJ more than 5 to 6 carries. Give him 7, 8. Give my man 7, 8, or 9 carries to get in some type of rhythm.
And something we haven't dove into yet today, but curious your thoughts. Is there a chance that Jaleel finally gets a jersey this week? We know he's been inactive. Baday's been up. Tyler Baday's been fine, I guess. He had a nice play last week against the Colts, but is it time for them to go back to Jaleel, or has that ship kind of sailed?
With Jaleel, he's going to have to wait his turn. Sean really likes Tyler Baday. He likes what he brings to the table when it comes to pass blocking, identifying blitzes, and also catching out of the backfield. For Baday, he needs to continue to catch the balls out of the backfield. He did a really good job week 2 against the Colts with picking up that first down on 3rd and 15 and also picking up a couple big-time blitzes. That's going to keep him on the 53-man roster. And Jaleel, buy your time, man. Like, I know that you don't want somebody to go down, but at some point somebody is going to miss some time because it's the running back position and it's grueling. So for Jaleel, when he does get the opportunity, take it and run with it, which he will. It's just not now.
All right, we played some Vance Joseph earlier in the program, but I promised it would come. His thoughts on teams going after Pat Surtain like the Colts did last week, and we'll give it to you next.
The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
There are a lot of issues. I mean, think about it. All 3 levels of the defense struggled mightily. Up front, the linebackers, the secondary. I mean, name me a Bronco defender that had a good game.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, guys? Phillip Lindsay here, and I want to tell you about my new obsession. That's with Daisy's French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching any big-time game. And now that Daisy's has come out with a delicious Daisy French Onion Dip, along with a Daisy Ranch Dip, these are definitely game changers that you're not going to want to miss out on. They are as delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients that you can find in your own kitchen. So if you want to be blown away like I was, then you need to give Daisy's French Onion Dip a try today. You can find Daisy's French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Who wants the lowest rate for life?
I do.
Everyone does, but it's only U.S. Mortgages. Lock in a low rate today, and if rates fall in the future, we will redo your loan and lower your rate without any lender fees, including the appraisal. There's no limit to the number of times you can do this. Always have the lowest rate for life. Get our 475 5-year fixed rate, 5.89 APR. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Catch a ride with Evie and Otto. Catch a ride.
I'm Evie.
And I'm Otto.
And you're invited to Go Evie Go at Foundation Kia, the premier electric vehicle sales event.
Enjoy free food, giveaways, and really sweet deals on all new EVs.
Yep, before federal rebates expire September 30th.
Foundation Kia is here to stay, but these deals are going away.
Your EV journey starts here. Join us September 25th through 27th for the biggest event of the year. Visit foundationkia.com for more info, and we'll see you in Wheat Ridge. Catch a ride.
Another summer is ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive. Perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. And if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic and get treated for your low T. Because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hi folks, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Home Improvements. My wife Susan and I started Done Right in our garage in 1985, doing a little of everything. We've grown to be one of the largest companies of our kind in Colorado, specializing in kitchens, baths, counters, floors, finished basements, and windows and doors. Serving Colorado 40 years. And what an adventure it's been. We've learned that the fundamentals of a successful business never change. That is, treat people like you want to be treated, do good work, price fairly, and back up what you say. That's our success formula. Here's our son Todd.
That's right, Dad. Been hearing that my whole life from you and Mom. Folks, whether it's a first-class kitchen renovation, an awesome turnkey bathroom remodel, a full-service basement finish for some extra space, or replacement windows and doors that will wow you, give us a call. With an 8% scheduling incentive and bank financing to ask about, now couldn't be a better time.
Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, windows, and doors. You have our word. We'll treat you right at Done Right. Call us to reserve your spot in our schedule. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
Hey, Stokely here, and let me tell you, fall golf is the best golf Colorado has to offer, and it's not too late to get fully dialed in for the last few months of the season. At Embers Golf in Westminster, they're not just selling golf clubs, they're crafting a journey for golf lovers like you. It's a boutique-style shop, family-owned, with 2 hitting bays, all the major brands, and fully upgraded custom shafts. Come in for a full bag fitting. Trust me, there's nothing else like it around. Embers Golf, where your golf journey begins.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, 2-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. I have a true treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Get ready for every Broncos game with Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall as he joins the drive every Friday afternoon at 4:45 exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Thanks to Corwin Toyota Boulder. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Had a lot of fun with Phillip Lindsay today. Appreciate you all tuning in as I sit in for Zach By. My name is Will Peterson. You hear me on Denver Sports Tonight, which is coming up next with Marcello Romano and Dante Gomez. Phil, I want to tell you about a really cool contest we are doing because football season is, of course, here, and it's time for you to get in the game. And lucky for you, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is giving away a PS5 bundle. All you got to do is download the Denver Sports app, click on the contest banner, and enter to win a PS5, Madden 26, College Football 26, as well as a 70-inch TV. Heck of a prize for downloading an app and clicking a banner. Get on that now. So, it was coordinator day, Phil. We heard from Darren Rizzi earlier talking about the debacle on the leverage penalty. We heard a little from Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator. But we haven't gotten to this cut yet, and I think it's a little bit of the elephant in the room. It was the Colts targeted PS2 9 times. We understand he was hurt. Ankle was bothering him. He said his coverage, his technique was a little lazy, which you and I reacted to. But let's hear from Vance about the Colts going after the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, and if other good offenses will try to do the same.
Absolutely, but I think most of the good offenses might have to do that. If they don't, right, they lose half of their offense. And what we're doing on defense is pushing the ball to Pat sometimes. So he has to make more plays, obviously. We all have to, so I'm not worried about Pat making his plays. I will welcome teams attacking Pat every week.
I love that at the end there. I'm going to welcome it, attacking Pat.
Oh, yeah.
But also a little bit, not a call out necessarily, but just a little bit of Pat's got to make more plays. that's going to be the most you're probably ever going to hear from a Broncos coach, that PS2 unfortunately did not have his best game last week.
Yeah, and it's okay. He's human. He is going to make mistakes. He is going to have balls caught on him. At some point, he's going to probably have a touchdown caught on him. But it's what you do next. And for PS2, there was too many times where the next play he got caught on again, or he wasn't in the right position, or he wasn't focused, because that's what it seemed like. After he got hurt, he was thinking too much and not just reacting to like what he usually does. And like I said, he is going to be just fine. He is the best corner in this league. He's going to figure things out. He's going to be a little bit more healthier than he was during that game. And yeah, I'm like VJ. If you want to continue to test your luck against PS2, good luck with that, because at some point he is going to make you pay.
Well, and I think, VJ's sort of issuing the challenge of, you're going to regret it eventually if you keep throwing to this guy. We saw the pick six last year against the Raiders. We've seen plenty of interceptions in his young career here in Denver. And if Justin Herbert wants to target him 9 times this weekend, that's not going to work out very well for the Chargers. Whether he happens to be on Quentin Johnston or Ladd McConkey or Keenan Allen, who's had a resurgence up there, I welcome, much like Vance Joseph, Herbert to challenge PS2, because I think if he does, the Broncos will probably win the football game.
Yeah, and Herbert's not dumb. He's going to pick and choose when to go at PS2. They may go at him early to see how his ankle is doing. But once PS2 makes that first pass deflection, pass breakup, or even an interception, Justin Herbert's going to find Riley Moss. And hopefully we're calling Riley Boss by the end of this game on Sunday.
And do want to pass along, we mentioned that Ladd McConkey was a DNP yesterday with biceps. He not only goes to limited today, he goes to full.
Yeah.
So he goes from DNP to full. So any notion that, something's going on with McConkey, he's playing. If you're a full on Thursday, you're playing. Justin Herbert's going to have his full target of weapons against the Broncos. Would you have PS2 shadow Ladd McConkey because he's their best receiver on paper, or just line up on the side he's more comfortable on and just whatever receivers in front of him, because they have so many weapons, that's who he guards?
Yeah, because the Chargers do have so many weapons, just stay on your side. Riley Moss is going to have to take care of his business and handle that. Okay, Jaquan McMillan's going to have to handle his business, along with Jahdae Barron and the safeties, Hufanga and Brandon Jones. Everybody has a job. They're getting paid to do their job. And for Ladd McConkey, they're going to try to place him all around the field, put him at slot so that he can get in open space. And if you watch PS2 throughout the years, PS2 struggles against smaller, twitchier receivers. So for PS2, I think he's going to have a day on Johnston. All right, if Keenan Allen's out there, I think PS2 is going to be able to cover Keenan Allen, although Keenan Allen's having a really good start of a year this year, which is like, hey, I wanted Keenan Allen here as a Denver Bronco to help out with this young receiver core, but it is what it is. So just keep PS2 on one side, Riley on the other side, and then just play ball.
By the way, seeing some other reports out of the locker room today, we heard from J.K. Dobbins, but have seen this from a handful of people now, that Jonah Ellis called this game a must-win. Now, I get it. Guys are in the locker room. They're just talking to reporters. They may say something that isn't exactly accurate because it's not a must-win. It's still September, but where I will agree with Jonah Ellis is this is a very much would like to win difference between you being a tie to top the AFC West versus you being 2 games back. What are your thoughts on Ellis saying must win? Right mindset, or maybe overstating it a little bit at this point in the season?
No, right mindset, sense of urgency. You cannot drop the ball 2 games in a row, especially with a division opponent like the Chargers. If the Chargers beat the Broncos, the Chargers are 3-0. They beat the Raiders, the Chiefs, and now the Broncos. That cannot happen. And what Jonah Ellis is saying is he's relaying the message of what's going on in that locker room and what's going on in the meeting room and what Sean Payton is telling his team, that we must win this game, that this is not a game that we can drop when we want to win the division, when we want to have home field advantage this year in the playoffs. You have to be able to beat the Chargers. So go into SoFi Stadium and get us a W.
Do you think that the Broncos are worried about their ability to win close games? We've outlined the numbers. What is it, 1-9?
Yeah.
Dating back to last season in close games. Against the Colts, they had so many chances to finish. Was it Mortal Kombat, the video game? Finish him. Like, I kind of felt like that with the Broncos. Phil, I'm not going to lie. If they're up 7 to 10 points going into the fourth quarter, I'm not going to feel real comfortable. This team's got to learn how to win. Is that a concern for you?
I love what you just said right there. You have to learn how to win. You have to learn how to win in crunch time moments. That's what makes Josh Allen good. That's what makes Lamar Jackson good. And that's what makes Patrick Mahomes so great. and Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. They know how to win in crunch time situations, crunch time moments, and that's something that it takes time. But once you finally get over that hump, then you end up winning a lot more of those over and over and over. So Bo Nix needs that moment. Maybe it's coming this week.
And you'll give an official prediction tomorrow on Bud Light Football Friday, live from Buffalo Rose, 2 to 6 p.m. up there in Golden. Zach Bye will be back. You can win Broncos and Bengals tickets. It's going to be a great time. Phil, I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of highlights, but I think the number one highlight was going 4-0 in trivia. Let's go.
Thanks, Scrappy, for substituting for Zach.
No problem, and thank you for steering me towards the New York Yankees as one of our answers. You may not know the backyard brawl, but you know your baseball, Phil. You know your baseball. It's Denver Sports Tonight with Marcello Romano and Dante Gomez coming up next.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
CU fans, keep your fix going with Denver Sports CU Football Post-Game Recap. Available every home game exclusively on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Presented by Corwin Toyota Boulder. Family driven for over 100 years.
Fall is here. The leaves are piling up. The air is getting crisp. Football's back on TV and chili's been simmering in the crock pot for hours. At Postman Law, the season may change, but one thing stays the same. We fight for hardworking folks when they've been injured. We've recovered billions for our clients, and it costs nothing to find out if you have a case. You don't pay a dime unless we win for you. If you've been hurt in an accident, call Postman Law at 844-POSTMAN today. That's 844-POSTMAN. This is attorney advertising.
Brandon Stokely from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Thinking about buying a home in Colorado? You're not the only one, and now might be your best shot. We're officially in a buyer's market, which means you've got the upper hand. More homes are on the market, competition is down, and serious deals are out there just waiting to be found. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade or downsize, now's the time to get pre-approved. And American Financing can make that happen in 24 hours or less. And here's the kicker. When you work with both American Financing and their partner American Home Agents, you can receive a credit on closing costs of up to 1% or a max of $10,000 on your home loan. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, it's time to step in, and American Financing is the place to start. Don't let the 20% down myth stop you. You could buy a home with as little as 3% down, and with down payment